Good evening, everybody. Welcome to another midweek mix-up podcast with my awesome panel here. Of course, looking to talk about this week's gaming news, and of course, I hope everybody is well. Hope everyone's had some the week has treated you well so far, and played a lot of games when you can. But let's get into our introductions first and foremost. General C, how are you doing today, brother? What you been up to?
Hello, I'm pretty good. Yeah, I've been back into the content creation. Did my first video, little channel update. Writing a video at the moment. Well, a couple of videos actually. I'm writing, streaming as well. Played Hunt Showdown on console. I was terrible at that.
Really?
Yeah. I'm not so good on the console as I am on PC. I'm just too slow with the movements on console, but I need a bit of practice, and then I'll be okay. But yeah, that's pretty much all I've been doing. A little bit of Grounded as well.
Yes, and of course, Sea of Tuesdays.
Oh yeah, Sea of Tuesdays. I always forget Sea of Tuesdays. I shouldn't, because it only happened yesterday.
Yeah. Oh, awesome stuff. We'll come back to Mick in a bit. We'll ask him when he returns, as you can tell, because I have changed his name kindly. He is eating currently, so he will be back momentarily, and when he's finished eating his tea. Boxy, how are you doing today, brother? What you been up to? You've came in hot, straight off the Age of Empires front lines.
Exactly. It didn't go so well today, so at least I won the last match. But no, other than that, I'm doing good. A little stress from work. But other than that, all is well. I mean, the gaming October is upon us, and I mean, it's an awesome month. A lot of games coming, and I can't wait for it.
Yeah, it's going to
be a lot of empty wallets as well.
A busy end of the year. And thankfully, thanks to Gamepass, a lot of those games coming out, we don't have to pay extra for. We just get them.
Exactly.
Thank God.
Exactly, which is awesome. Yeah.
No one can hear fireworks, awesome. Right?
No.
Someone is letting off a huge display of fireworks at the moment.
Oh. No, I can't hear them. You're safe. Next up, Patchu.
Yo.
How are you doing today, brother? What you been up to?
I'm doing good, guys. I'm doing good. It's great to be back again. What I've been doing, I am only playing Grounded at this moment. It's highly addicted.
Yeah.
So, yeah, last few days just only playing Grounded, and every day is a surprise. Just seeing new things, learning new things. So I cannot wait to hop on some games with the guys. Just with the community, and then see how it goes then.
Yeah, definitely.
So yeah, man. And also for before we go any further, big shout out to Studos, who did his first stream on Twitch.
Yes.
Yeah. I was just lurking, just watch a little bit, but yeah, keep it going, Studios, and you'll get there, man. Awesome. Great to see you online and live streaming.
100%. And I know he was trying to get his camera working, and hopefully it manages to fix itself next time, and you'll get that online. But it's great to see more people get into it, for sure. And of course, as part of the midweek mix-up family, we'll support you and do what we can to kind of get you going as much as we can. And we know we still need Mick to get to affiliate on Twitch as well, and of course we'll assist. I know is stuff showing affiliate yet? If not, we need to get him up to affiliate.
I think he is.
He is terrific. Brill. So Studios next. Awesome stuff.
Let's go.
Yeah, I've been doing the usual myself. I've been playing Grounded, of course, with Boxy. Played a bit of Grounded with Boxy. Then played Grounded with General C.
Yeah.
And then played Sea of Thieves. And played Grounded and played FIFA, and I think that's pretty much it, to be honest. In between everything, I think it's just Sea of Thieves, Grounded. But yeah, it's good stuff. It's a good time for gaming, and of course, in the next couple of weeks, we've got even more games. Of course, if those who love or like Overwatch, of course, Overwatch is out now. Overwatch 2, they have had a DDoS attack, unfortunately.
Yep.
On launch, so there was a lot of issues.
Massive queues of players as
Yeah.
well trying to get onto the game.
People are starting to
But
get
I
into
didn't
it
try
now.
and play that last night.
Yeah. People are starting to get into it now, though. So hopefully people enjoy that when they eventually get onto the server and be able to start playing. Of course, it is free to play. So if anybody wants to try Overwatch 2, you can download it now and play it on your Xbox, of course, at no extra
Oh.
cost. So
There was a weird bug with that. Like it was showing that people were playing the original Overwatch and they were playing Overwatch 2. I think it was Geordie from Complete Xbox. I saw a tweet
yeah,
of his, and he said that he's seeing people with Overwatch Origins Edition, which is the first game. So okay, is it built on the original Overwatch?
indeed. Speak of the devil. Hello, Big Cloud, sir. Welcome back. How you been doing, sir? What you been up to?
I just been laughing on Twitter. What you been up to? I've been gaming, going
Pretty
through
much the
backlog.
same.
That's what I've been doing.
Yes, yeah, there's a lot to get through.
Shout
How's
out to
it?
my
What you been
Sega
playing?
brother Vin. What's up, dude?
What you been playing?
Playing a lot of indies. Just been. Do you know how many games I platinum like last month alone?
Go on.
Like
12?
like 40.
Oh, someone
40?
wants to get into that premium
Like,
customer support. I
Yeah.
see.
Like 40 games last month, and a good chunk of these were indies mixed with AAA.
Nice.
I was literally just
That's
going on
sweet.
a crazy tirade. Like literally, I was like, dude, it's crazy. Let me just take a break. So been
You're
playing
obviously in
that,
the mood.
just going
That's the
through
thing.
list.
Like once you get into that gaming mood, you just don't stop. I had that phase. I think it was like the
Oh,
tail
yeah.
end of last year. I was literally on the hunt for gamer score, so I was just playing everything and anything and like beating as many games as I could. And once you get into the swing of things, you just go for it.
Yeah. It's just like, and it's funny he mentioned that PlayStation All-Stars thing. I don't think they launched it yet, and because I don't think they launched it yet because I don't even know how that's gonna work, low-key. Are they gonna just scan like your account immediately? Or are they just gonna like, hey, listen, you start from scratch. You have to earn this amount of trophies again. I don't know how that's gonna work. But
Well, apparently it
what
was
is,
just
so.
from 1st of essentially apparently it was 1st of October onwards. It was
Oh.
anything from 1st of October onwards, and you have to buy the equivalent of 4 games and unlock 128 rare trophies. So,
Yeah, what's coming out in October?
yep,
Well, a Blake Tail.
yep.
You gotta. I mean, 'cause I'm pretty sure they're really counting their first party in this, right? I don't think they're. I would
If
think.
it's
has to
only
be
first party, then that's even
For
small.
full price games, they don't distinguish in between first party and third party. But it has to be full price games.
Yeah, because I'm wondering if they're gonna
Yeah.
start looking at priority stuff. You know what I mean? Like, are you buying our first party? And they'll really be selective. But I don't know. It's a dumb system. I get it. A lot of companies do it. That priority system, like what's it called, like the elite membership. They give stuff like that. It's okay, cool, but you're essentially paying for the same customer service that you have now, which is
Yeah.
subpar at best, and they don't have any solutions. They're all reading from a script. They don't know what they're talking about, most of them.
Yeah.
So there's
Yeah.
that.
What did you make of this? It's not even just the premium customer support, but of course, since that was announced, then there was apparently a hidden invite only level, which is above that. What is that about? Like, I don't. That's so weird.
I mean, dude, they're taking that whole moniker of, hey, it's for the payers. Literally, they're literally taking that moniker, and it's like you're making things worse at this point. Ain't nobody on board. Ain't nobody hyped. People are getting more pissed than anything, and some people might go, "Oh, it's not that big of a deal." Like I got dudes trying to compare Horizon Remastered to Dead Space, for God's sakes.
Yeah.
I literally just got done arguing with somebody about this, like in my comments. It's like, oh, put some respect on Naughty Dog. At least their game looks better than Dead Space. I'm like, yeah, because Naughty Dog is pushing graphics. You know what I mean? They're
Yeah.
not doing anything else. Dead Space, what did Dead Space do? They redid everything, including
Yeah.
the dismemberment mechanics, everything. Are we really comparing these two things? Not to mention, Dead Space is a full-fledged game. You're getting all assets and everything about it, not cut content and
Yeah.
being charged $70 for it.
They're
Yeah.
expanding their content with Dead Space, right? They're expanding places with the story. if
Oh,
I'm
dude.
correct.
Did you see those zero-G gravity sections? How they did it, especially going towards like the little serpent thing? They literally outdid themselves. It looks really, really good. And I can't wait till we get to part 2.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Part 2 is gonna be the one where it's like, yes, I waited. It finally happened. Because
Yeah.
you know, and plus we got Callisto
Yeah.
dropping in December. So it's like, I mean, come on. You it's gonna be a good year. Period.
Oh, it's going to be awesome.
I
They are,
can't
to
wait.
be fair, the two of the topics for this evening are discussing Dead Space, what we think about that, of course, so far, and discussing another remaster rumor. A quick one though, super chat, $2 super chat from Mr. Joanna Dark. He says, if I played NAC, am I already automatically level 4?
I mean,
You're
I
already
platinum
the
both,
secret
so I
invite only section if you played NAC. So
platinum both games. I platinum both. It should be level 20 on
yeah,
those.
yeah,
That puts you straight up to the god tier.
yeah,
Exactly.
yeah. You get the invite to
Like-
PlayStation
Like
headquarters.
Mark, I
if you've,
support your game. Let me in.
Welcome back, Mick, as well. Hello, sir. What you been up to? What you been playing?
Apologies for being late. Like I said, it's off the stream before. Food was ordered because we got back late and then it didn't turn up for a long time. So apologies for that.
Bad service.
Yeah, it's been a nice week of not doing a lot like most people, playing quite a bit of Grounded.
Yeah,
I did hit a point where it was frustrating me. I had to turn it off.
yeah, yeah.
But it's good. I like it. And I mean, I played it in the beta, and me and my daughter play it. You know, just on the creative mode, just so we, because she's not interested in any of the survival stuff.
Yeah.
But I'm quite liking the story, so I'm quite just interested to see what happened and see the end. So yeah, it's good. I'm enjoying it.
Awesome
And obviously
stuff.
Sea of Thieves.
Yes, of course. Of course. And big things coming to Sea of Thieves for us going forward anyway. I'm looking forward to that. Of course, we'll speak about that the more we continue with it. But we shall get into the topics for today. We did start actually because BitCloud was talking about it anyway with regards Dead Space and the difference between roadmaps, etc. Quick shout out before we do that though. Amblix has become a channel member. Straight up to Mix Up Berserkers member. So
That's awesome.
thank you very much, sir. Thank you for the
Nice.
support. Much appreciated. Yes, the initial topic starter for today is a double whammy. So of course, we have remakes and remasters coming out of our ears these days. Some justified, others not so much. We're going to talk about one of the justified ones first, and I'm going to be jumping straight into Dead Space. Of course, Dead Space comes out in January. They recently released some gameplay footage for it, so it was the first look gameplay footage for the remake. And of course, they also provided on Twitter just earlier on a little kind of preview of before and after of the new gameplay footage for Dead Space as well, to see what the differences are between the original and this one. And of course, it is a contrast difference, night and day essentially. Yeah, I want to get the impressions first of all on this, and of course we know kind of one of the minor I say controversies is of course that it is a $70 game. Of course, for those on Xbox or on PlayStation, if you're an EA Access member, it is a reduced price. So you'll get it for about 62 as opposed to 70, so it's cheaper again. But let's get into actually the impressions on the gameplay footage first and foremost. And BitCloud has welcomed you back, sir. What are your overall impressions of what you've seen of Dead Space so far and the remake and what they've done with it?
So I like first of all, I like how they presented it. They showed the original. I guess they showed like the PC version.
Yeah.
And comparing it to the remake, what they did, all the shots, including the armor, look awesome. Like they really did nail the atmosphere. The ship is more expanded. There's more happening on screen. I love the 0G gravity section because they kind of really nailed. Remember, like when you first played it, it gave you that claustrophobic like type of feel because you can barely breathe and you got like that echo effect. They nailed the sound design in that. The new stasis effect with the particles and everything looks great. I can't wait, man. It looks really, really good. Weapons sound and look good. we already saw dismemberment early on, so I'm not too worried about that. But that we saw more of a, I guess you could say we saw more of a polished version of it. Like he shot one of them in the leg, and you could actually see the tendon snap and blood gush out of it. So that was really, really good too. I was like, damn, that looks night and day better than what we've seen before. And plus, I think, I don't know, did it sound like they redid the voice acting for certain scenes? Because I don't remember certain bits of dialogue there and how it sounded. It did sound a little different, like they reshot or redid the dialogue. So there was that. But nah, it looks good, man. I'm day one, $70. Hey, I've been asking for this for the longest time. This is one I will happily support at 70. I don't care that this is the game I wanted.
Yeah.
Because as soon as this does well, the sooner this does well, and the sooner this comes out, first of all, the sooner we get to Dead Space 2.
Absolutely.
And that's the one I really, really want is Dead Space 2. Dead Space 2 was in my honest opinion, that's when the series was at its pinnacle. It hit that's like the Resident Evil 4 of the entire franchise. You think about it. Like it had the perfect blend of action, horror, suspense. It had it all. And it was a lot of like stakes that you really felt were on the line with part 2. Part 1, it was just like a head trip. You know what I mean? Like there was so many things happening, so many weird things at that. And you're like, okay, why is she here? Where did she come? You know what I mean? Like what happened here?
Yeah.
Why is this dude picking his head on the wall constantly and he dies? Like, stuff like that. So it's good, man. I can't wait.
Yeah, 100%. 100%. Boxy, what about you? What did you make of the footage of the gameplay so far for the remake and comparison? Because obviously we've all played, I think the vast majority of us have played the original. Whether we liked it or not was another thing, but the vast majority of us played it. What did you make of it compared to what you remembered, or at least the footage that they showed the original versus what they've got now?
Oh, it looks fantastic. I can't wait to play it. I like the way how they modernized the look and everything, but the biggest thing that stood out to me is the sound design.
Yeah.
I mean, that wasn't particularly new. They talked about that in a previous development diary, how they are gonna implement Dolby Atmos or 3D sound, and I think that is something that is really cool because that's something the old one didn't have. And I think like in these claustrophobic corridors where you have like flickering lights and everything, a proper 3D sound can really, really make a difference there. So yeah, man, I can't wait. I'm right there with BitCloud. I agree that Dead Space 2 was probably the pinnacle of the franchise. Was amazing. But it's obvious why they start with the remake of the first one. So yeah, I'm looking forward to it. It really depends. The thing about it really is it's in 23, and in 23 we will all have to ask ourselves constantly which games are we going to prioritize. I'm definitely gonna play Callisto coming in December, so I'm not sure if I need another Dead Spacey game like 2 months later when I have like quadrillion other games I can play. So this is just the thing about this. It's nothing against the game. It's gonna be great. I'm just not sure whether we will be able to play it day one, and then it's probably one of those games that will just get pushed into a sale play. But yeah, since I already played it, I don't know. Depends on when exactly it will come out and what other games will come out. We will have that conversation many times next year.
It's not just yourself saying that
which
as
games
well,
to
though.
prioritize.
I was going to say Amblix in chat as well, and shout out to Amblix there. He says, looks good, but I'll buy Callisto and wait for Dead Space on Game Pass since it will be in EA Play at some point. Of course,
I will say this.
Yeah.
Even though this is a remake, right?
Yeah.
The original team really did flex.
Yeah.
So I understand what you're saying. Like Callisto Protocol was like, yo, these dudes are not playing. Like, yeah, okay. You guys are dropping a remake of our old game. Okay. Well, guess what? We stepped up. This is what we got. And it's like,
exactly,
bro, that is the evolution of the franchise. So understandable so that you would say that. But when we're talking about remakes that we've been constantly asking for and wanting at least to bring more life back into like a franchise or just
Yeah.
to add more to the plate sort of thing, Dead Space is a nice compliment. And the team, I think, did a great job of just like you just said, Boxer, like like modernizing it, just making it look good, everything. But I don't think anybody's going to be on Twitter or in this case YouTube when Callisto Protocol drops. I think we're all going to be absent for a minute until we beat that. That's one of those games where you're like, yeah, I got to support this. Why? Because that team, Visceral Games. In my honest opinion, I always thought Visceral Games was a great studio.
Yeah.
But I just felt like they were just acts before they can make anything else. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like the last Dead Space obviously killed the series, and I hope to God we don't get a remake of that. If anything, if they do, this is where they start fresh after part 2. You know what I mean? Like they redo or make something else. But you know, after that, it's like, bro, Visceral Games just fell off the earth. Now I'm glad they got a second chance to wow us, and they've actually done it.
100%. Before I get to Pat's opinion as well, we have another super chat from Mr. Joanna Dark, $5 super chat there. Thank you, sir. And he says, with Dead Space Remake combining parts of 1 and 2, what should we expect from Dead Space 2? Will we get portions of the game along with new content?
So for part 2, obviously I expect it to be faster. You know, they'll probably make it look a little different aesthetically because the difference between part 1 and 2, part 2 they did go with like a different aesthetic, and it was actually a little bit more open. Like you weren't just on like one particular ship, you were on several, and they added more levels to it, more layers. So more risk for sure. Better boss battles. It was much more twists and turns.
Yeah.
In terms of like combat, well, combat, if I remember correctly, in the combat for part 2, that's where they introduced where you can like take off the limbs and shoot them at them. That was the one that they introduced that. They have that. So new and improved mechanics for that. The 0G shortcuts, you can shoot the window and exit, make them like leave or get them out the ship and shoot the little tab before you die. Like stuff like that. They're gonna go all out with the crazy like set piece. You're gonna see a lot more set piece. Even the free fall section. I don't know if y'all remember that. We have to like fall, like glide and go down and get to the ships and stuff like that.
Yeah,
like, that stuff. Yeah. So that's really about it. Part 2 is just more refined, but more risks. So everything you're seeing in part 1, you will see more refined and even more expansive for part 2.
Yeah. Awesome.
Part 3 we don't speak of.
No, part 3 doesn't exist. Part 3 is Callisto Protocol. So
there you go. The Elseworld story.
Yeah. Pat, haven't seen the gameplay yourself as well. Is this something you're going to be jumping on in January?
Oh yeah, most definitely. I have no experience in any Dead Space game.
I'm already jealous.
Jealous.
I'm already jealous.
You have to stream it then.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. I'll do stream it, no problem. But
with the lights
for what
off.
I saw so far,
Dude,
it looks really good, man. It looks really good.
Dude, just even that first section when they first arrive on the Ishimura and they're walking down the little long corridor to get to the door, Isaac.
Yeah.
Just seeing how that looks now compared to what we're used to it seeing is night and day. Like I cannot wait till you guys get to the twist. Like I can't wait for Pat when he plays. You're like, okay, I guess everything's fine. They just you guys know what I'm talking about.
Yep.
As soon as a certain switch gets hit, shit hits the fan. You're like, okay, this is creepy. Oh yeah. So
yeah.
But I think I have Dead Space in my library somewhere.
You do, the original.
Should be somewhere.
Of course you do. It's in Gamepass.
Don't bother playing it yet.
Oh yeah, it is. Yeah, I have it here.
Yeah, you go.
Yeah.
So might jump in that before
You see
the
the new one
comes out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's fair.
So I can see the comparison, like bit
I would
by
recommend
saying,
maybe play that original after you played the remake.
oh dude.
The original's amazing, but I think your first time should be the remake because there's probably going to be some big changes for like scares and all that.
Yeah.
You said probably there is.
yeah.
It's a whole new thing.
I would say definitely wait for the remake and then go back and play the original and see what that was like.
Definitely. I'm gonna get to
then we'll do that.
Yeah. I'm gonna get to Mick last because I know he doesn't.
Yeah, then we'll do that.
Yeah, I'm gonna get to Mick last because I know he doesn't. He's not a big Dead Space fan.
Ah, Meg, I thought we were friends. Yeah, I don't like you.
It's nice. It's just something I've never jumped into. So, and
I wanna
I
hear
will.
that.
I
Yeah.
will. I might try it this time. So,
Okay, you're off the hook.
Jen has played it though. Jen, what do you make of what you've seen of the remake differences so far? Then what they've done with it?
With Dead Space 1 being one of my favorite horror games of all time,
Yeah.
next to some of the Resident Evil games, what I find most impressive about this is the lighting effects, the way that lighting bounces off everything in this gameplay
Mm.
trailer, the wet blood, the metal on the suit.
Yeah.
It's just so impressive. The particle effects are next level. I'm currently watching the trailer in like slow-mo and just watching all the details, and it's just insane. I'm so looking forward to this, and like they've said, they're adding to the game. They're changing some story elements, well, expanding story elements.
Yeah.
So that's going to be interesting to see. It's gonna be like kind of playing a brand new game
Oh,
Yeah,
because
absolutely,
they've made these changes.
absolutely.
Most of the story is probably going to be the same, but there's going to be stuff that's different, and that excites me. Hopefully, they don't drop the ball with the story elements though, because sometimes
Yeah.
it's not a good idea to change certain things. So
Yeah,
fingers crossed.
Like the voice is off. Like it's definitely a different voice in certain section. Like I forgot what his name. You know what I'm talking about? Like the leader, the dude who's like the scientist who makes the regenerator. That guy. He sounds different, does he not? Unless that was a different voice or some from another recorder. That's a different voice. It's not the same guy. So it again, aside from that, it just looks great. Like even the armor, right? Like you look like a tank in this compared to the original. You know what I mean? The original looked like you were just wearing like a cloth suit.
Like all the shadow
game.
effects as well, like around the armor, like between the lighting in the specific parts of the lighting of the ship that are shining. You just see
Yeah.
those shadow effects on the suit as well.
And that's gonna be
Crazy
good too for those other sections, like where y'all don't know where the lights go out and it gets real dark and stealthy. It's like, dude, that's gonna add a lot of tension to the game.
Oh yeah.
So
And
That's,
the overhaul of the
that's gonna add a lot of tension to the game.
oh yeah.
So
and
That's,
the overhaul of the dismemberment is next level as well. Just seeing that point where he shoots the necromorph in the leg and it just rips
yeah,
flesh. It's insane.
it's good, but I would say that it's crazy. I was back and forth with this, but it's like, you know, they showed a lot with dismemberment, and I do like it. I think the Callisto though is the next
Oh, yeah.
evolution though.
It's-
Like
I mean, in comparison to
Yeah.
the original Dead Space, this is next level, but Callisto is like a
Callisto
tier
took
above
it to
this.
another. Yeah, it took it another level because I remember like he shot off the thing's arm and then he picked like he used it as a shield,
Mm.
and then the entire shoulder joint came off. So it's like they were flexing beyond this, but still it looks great after what we're seeing. So
Yeah, and the zero gravity sections with like the flare floating as well and all that shining off the armor. It's I'm really looking forward to this, but I don't know if I'm gonna pick it up day one, just because Callisto Protocol is more of a priority for me because that is new,
Yeah.
and I'm looking forward to that way more than this. So I might wait a little while before picking this up.
Yeah.
But overall, I'm really impressed with it. I just think because Callisto is new, fresh, I would prefer to go for that experience
Oh,
rather
absolutely.
than play something
Absolutely.
that I've pretty much played already. Even though there's going to be some sections that are different and improved.
Yeah.
But
Yes.
just to see the difference, you know, like because you played the first one, of course. I think like I'm gonna do like first probably gonna play the remake and then the first one, or first one or the remake, doesn't matter. But I just want to see the
difference
the
between
comparison, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Mm.
because I just look now at the screenshots of Dead Space, the first one, and if you compare it now with the trailer that they just shown, it's difference between day and night. So
the yeah.
that's insane
Absolutely.
what they did. Yeah.
Absolutely.
I love how they've made the marker in it way more vibrant in like it's
Yeah, it
glowing
actually
red.
pulsates. It
Yeah.
pulsates. It moves, which
Yep.
they didn't do that in before.
I love
Before, it
that
was like
effect.
it was like
That's
it
really
looked like
cool.
a statue. It was they made it look more alive in
Mm.
this. So yeah, that's true.
Yeah,
100%.
overall I'm
Mm.
impressed, and I can't wait to play it when I do get around to playing it. But like I said, Callisto is more of a priority for me.
Yeah,
Oh yeah.
100%. We got another super chat in again from Mr. Joanna Dark, $5 super chat. Thank you again, sir. He asks a question to the panel here. So he says, if you could revive another survival horror game franchise, which one would you bring back? He said, for me, it would be Nightmare Creatures and The Suffering. For
I
me,
can answer that straight
personally-
away with
For
one
me personally,
word.
I wouldn't even say a survival horror because I don't know whether or not you class it as survival horror, but horror game, Condemned. 100%.
I was going to say exactly the same
Oh.
thing. Exactly the same thing.
Condemned.
You know,
That-
since
that's the
everybody's
series that
so,
needs to come back.
yeah,
I'm not
Since
sure
everybody's
there's
tired
this.
of, oh, go.
Oh, please.
Are you? No, you. I got you.
Go on, go for it.
Dino Crisis. I want
Oh.
Dino Crisis back,
You
man.
know, stole my game, man. I should have won.
There you go. We haven't had Dino Crisis in
A
far
very
too
long
long.
time.
I don't know why that franchise died off. Honestly, so good.
Yeah.
You could say it went extinct.
Definitely Silent Hill.
No.
That's for sure.
Yeah, I
Definitely,
know everyone wants a Silent Hill. You are correct. And to be fair, if Kojima did get his original vision for PT, it would have
We
been
would've had it.
phenomenal because that shit was scary as fuck. He did
Just
that
playing
so
that,
well.
that little demo for PT was probably one of the most intense,
It was. It just kept you on
scary
edge.
moments I've ever played in a video game. And it showed me how video games can be way more scary than horror movies.
Yep.
Yeah, and people are. That's crazy. Like that game is so popular, and it's not even a full release. But like people are selling PS4s with that specific demo on it because you can't get it anymore, and they're making bank off of it. And
Or
yeah,
you
it's crazy.
could, and I wouldn't say this. I shouldn't say this, but you could jailbreak your PS5 and download it.
Yeah.
Yeah, which we've seen this week. Is
Yep.
now a possibility. Yeah, but yes, that's it. Pat, what about you? What horror game would you bring back if you could?
Well, to be honest, I have serious no idea because I'm not like really into the horror games.
Right.
So I cannot give you an answer on that one. So
Might have to make you play a horror game on stream at some point. We'll figure it out. Figure out which one.
oh yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
not for everybody.
It's gonna be, of course, Callisto Protocol. That's one of the games that I'm gonna stream for sure. Dead Space as well. So yeah, who knows? We're gonna see. Maybe I'm gonna love it. So
Yeah. Well,
I
I've
remember
no
that
doubt
game
you will.
traumatized me a little bit when I first played it. Dead
Yeah.
Space 1. Like after like the first chapter, like I literally put it down. Like when I first played it, I put it down for a day. I had to like collect myself because I'm like, oh dude, that is crazy. And then I got back on it, and then I was okay. It's not getting too bad. Then it gets even more creepy, and it's like, okay, what did I get myself into when I play this game? And it's like, it's so good,
yeah,
though. So good.
yeah, but that's good. That's good.
Oh, that's
John
Jacob
Wolf, what's
Novik
up?
asks a quick question, and I've got a quick answer for this one as well. He said, "Should I buy the Xbox One version of Callisto or the Series X and S version?" If you get one, you get them both. So, in fact, no. Is Callisto cross-buy or not? Or do you have to buy a next-gen version? If you have to buy a
I
next-gen
haven't-
version,
Yeah.
then get the Series X and S version.
It's a
Absolutely.
good question.
Yeah,
The way
because
how
I
he
think
asks. Yeah.
Yeah, they didn't.
I
specify.
think that is the same mistake that I made with Battlefield because I bought the Xbox One version,
Ah,
but then it was not optimized for Series X or Series S.
right.
And I think maybe that's the same thing with Callisto Protocol. So if you buy the Xbox One version, then probably it's not optimized
Mm.
to Series X version. So
And
Mm.
if that is
dude.
the case, then it has to be the Series X and S version. 100%.
The Callisto Protocol would not make use of smart delivery.
Okay.
Mm.
Apparently, no. So
Then next gen version, 100%, or current gen version. Yeah.
And Doom, the internet will completely have a heart attack if they actually decide to make that a game. I'm just telling you right now.
Yeah.
The Thing, they made that like similar to Dead Space.
If they made that cross-buy.
game out of that.
Yeah.
Oh, dude.
They recently announced the new Alone in the Dark game, and I don't know how I feel about
Eh.
that. It looks so.
And also just make Pitch Black. I don't know if you ever watched that movie.
Yes.
Have you seen with Pitch Black?
Yeah.
With Vin Diesel.
Yeah.
I'll take that over that. That was more of an interesting concept.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah.
Completely agree.
I definitely want to see Condemned come back though. I mean, Sega owns it. Xbox do have a good relationship with Sega. Maybe
That's another. See, Condemned. So Condemned 1 and 2 were good, and then it went off. And that's exactly the same as what Dead Space did. First one, brilliant. Second one, good. Third one, don't talk about that. Condemned was the same. Condemned messed up after that, and then it died a death. If you go back to what it was good at, which was the first one, which was creepy as hell, like people sneaking around in the
Condemned 2
dark.
had a really interesting multiplayer though. I will say that, and I really enjoyed it. Like playing as the serial killer sort of characters, hiding in buildings from the cops.
Yeah.
was so cool. And then like some of the cops would have guns, and you could kill the cops and pick up their guns and use them against them. That was a very interesting concept.
Yeah. Yeah, 100%. 100%. And so we've got two, anyway, we had 2 votes for Dino Crisis, and we had 2 votes for Condemned. Good shouts. I think good shouts all around. We've
That
got a
needs
few
to
different ones in
give a
there.
vote.
We've Doom Reaper said Phantasmagoria or Shivers. Let's have a look. I'm sure there was a few more in the chat there as well when I go up. The Thing. I would absolutely love to see a The Thing game again.
Dude, if you got that with the same level of Dead Space, and
Oh.
like it, and they added like Among Us type of vibes to it, like you really don't know, you have to like just watch your back.
Yeah.
It's more open, accessible, dude. That would be creepy as hell.
Oh, 100%.
I remember one horror game that I played on the 360.
Yeah.
Saw.
You played the Saw horror game?
Ah.
How was that?
Yes.
I remember playing a demo
Uh,
for that and not being very impressed.
Yeah, I wasn't impressed with that.
Well, like back in the days, I was like a bit younger, of course, but back then I was like pretty surprised about it. So, but yeah, is it a game worth it to get a remake? I don't think so, but it would be nice to maybe play it again.
Yeah. See what it's like now compared to what you
Yeah,
remember.
see,
it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. But that's been a long time
Oh,
that I
yeah.
played that.
Yeah, very long time. Awesome stuff. Mick is still away at the second, but that's fine. We're going to talk about another remaster rumor.
Mick's enjoying his dinner. He said, I
Yes,
don't care
he
about
is.
this, guys.
Eating away. Another remaster
Stuff in
rumor,
his
however.
face.
A not so great one this time around, though. And BitCloud put up a great video the other day on his channel about this. And of course, we had the rumor, a heavy rumor that apparently Horizon Forbidden West is going to get a next-gen remaster. So it's not an update, it's not a patch. The entire game's being remastered for the current generation. It's only 5 years old. It doesn't even feel 5 years old at this point.
Is it a remaster or a remake? Because
It's a remake.
From people, I'm getting conflicting reports, right? 'Cause,
yeah,
like
that's what I feel like. A few people are
yeah.
saying it's a remaster, and a few people said it's a
Then some put
remake.
remake, and then some put both in title. And it's like I don't think they even know really. It's just a lot of people.
A
are saying
remaster,
remaster. Some people
a
say-
remaster, I can understand, but a remake
I can't
Why?
even understand a remaster,
doesn't
though.
need that.
I can't even understand a remaster. Like,
Yeah,
just give it the next gen update treatment. Just if
give it
you
the
want to
PC
update
version.
it, then update it. Add
Yeah,
add
exactly.
your fancy resolution bump and your frame rate bump and 3D audio and things like that. But I don't understand. It doesn't even feel like it came out 5 years ago. It feels like it was like
yeah.
3 at best. And we're already
They're
talking
saying
about it.
accessibility functions and quality of life changes.
Yeah.
And whatnot. So essentially, well, actually, I can't even say it's the PC version because the PC version doesn't have the accessibility option whatsoever. Which this whole thing gets weird because I have a feeling it's going to be 70 regardless if it's a remake or a remaster. because it feels like Sony's been really like hiding or really using that accessibility feature as like some big crutch. Like, yeah, we can justify 70 with this alone with haptics. It's like, no, no,
That almost sounds like they're just charging people that have disabilities.
exactly. And it looks bad overall. It's like, why are we locking that behind a paywall? And who asked for this? Did anybody ask for Horizon? I think we all can agree Horizon still holds up very, very well to this
very
day.
well.
It looks
Doesn't
good
it
with
already
HDR.
run in 60 FPS?
It
I think
does.
so, yeah.
It
It
does.
does. So
I think
You got it
might
for
be
free.
even-
Yeah,
Yeah, I
you
think-
got it for free on PS5 right
Yeah,
now. You
yeah,
can get it. And they
exactly.
even gave this game away for free multiple times. So I don't
Yeah.
get what's the point
then,
of
then that
re-releasing
makes
it.
even less sense to
Yeah,
me.
I don't get it.
Okay.
You know, dude's like, I'm on board with this. I'm on board. There is absolutely no excuse, no reason whatsoever, aside from one thing, and that's the fact they want to get more money out of you.
Yeah.
They saw that you were willing to pay $70 for a game that was incomplete to begin with, that we recently just got done talking about, that I'm pretty sure about in this panel, probably bought twice, and that was Last of Us. That was
I did.
it.
I got
Yeah.
it on PS3 and I got it on PS4 when it came
Yeah, so
out.
it's like I don't know what they're on and where they think they're getting this arrogance, but I know where they're getting this arrogance. They've been on top for so long. That's what it is. And you got a fan base who are literally telling you or trying to like shame you by telling you, hey, look, you guys need to get into a different tax bracket. What kills me about that, and I know you've seen it, Dutch.
Yeah.
What kills me about that, the same dudes who said that stupid comment are the first ones you see on Twitter crying about this Horizon remaster / remake. I thought you had no problem with it. I thought it was greatness, right?
Yeah.
You guys are knocking development. I thought we were doing this. Now all of a sudden they got a problem with it. It cracks me up because it's like, bro, you guys are setting bad examples, bad precedents, and now you're gonna see more of it. And here's the wild part about this, and that scared a lot of people in that video. I know you know what I'm about to say, Dutch, but so Horizon's got a TV show.
Yep.
Now they're supposedly gonna remaster, right? Last of Us TV show. We got a remake just recently. God of War has a movie that they're trying to get. What are the odds that God of War 2018 gets a remake?
I wouldn't be surprised.
I wouldn't be at this point. I wouldn't be surprised.
Nothing to
Seems
surprise
only
me.
logical, right?
Yep. They know
It's
the
like,
money's going to
dude.
come because people are
See-
telling them they'll pay
See,
it.
that's where I'm out though with that. I don't see the point in remaking those games. They stand up well to this day, and they're not even that old.
Yeah.
Like, I think
Like-
for a game to be remade, it needs to be 10 years plus.
Yeah, I would think something of Dead Space. You know what I mean? Like a game that's been lost or forgotten for
Yeah,
that
like
long.
2 generations ago,
It's-
where you have like a significant jump in technology, where you can actually
Yeah.
bring something new to the gameplay outside of a little frame rate boost or something. It's just not worth it. I do have my theory,
Or
honestly, what's
Bloodborne.
going on here. Yeah, what
Where's
about
Blood-
Blood? Yeah, well, Bloodborne wasn't that big of a commercial success.
Wasn't that big of a commercial success, but keep in mind though, the following for this is actually
Yeah.
bigger now. They've got like a cult following, and everybody's asking about this on Twitter.
Yeah.
I do
Mm.
think that game would do a lot better now, just based on how the reception has been. And I think you know what it is? It's because of Demon Souls. I think we owe Demon Souls a lot of credit to this because Demon
Mm.
Souls looks so good. It looks like a painting.
It looks
you know what I mean?
fantastic.
Yeah, looks like a painting. So I'm
Yeah.
pretty sure that's adding more like, yo, damn, like what ifs, you know what I mean? For a lot of people, like I would love to see that on PS5. You know, that same type of aesthetic could be thrown
Yeah.
towards Bloodborne. The problem
That
is
would be-
though, Bloodborne's stuck at 30. You know what I mean? That's the other reason too.
Yeah.
Give us a 60, at least a patch or something. We can't even get that. So
yeah.
I would I would take the remake of Bloodborne any day of the week.
Yeah,
Over
but
this.
what,
Plus, they're
what
about to make
else
a TV
besides the
show.
frame rates would you remake? Yeah, you would probably
Bloodborne?
increase, of course, the base. What part besides the frame rates would you remake in Bloodborne? I mean, you would probably increase, of course, a little bit the resolution, but that's about it. So not-
Resolution bump, better particles.
It's
you
like-
can get
like you said, I'd love a next gen patch, but
Yeah.
does it need a remaster? No, it really doesn't. You know what I would love that they revisit is SOCOM.
Yep.
That's what we want. That we could have the OG God of War trilogy, like remake that.
Yep. I mean, we're
That-
talking about
that's-
legacy. Why not Uncharted 1? Uncharted 1 aged like milk.
Exactly. Yeah.
It aged like milk. The
I'd
combat's
go
terrible.
even further back than that. Siphon filter.
Dude.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Like all the stuff Jim's doing, like he's
Original
running to
Killzone.
commissions.
I could
There you
remake
go.
that.
Like Jim's running to
Yeah.
commissions talking about this Activision deal. And I'm like, bro, you have all this time you're just wasting and you're putting towards you're wasting resources, stuff that people didn't ask for
Yeah.
nor want. You should be using that to build towards your multiplayer. Let's face it, once that 3 years is done, Call of Duty's going bye-bye.
Yeah.
It's a wrap.
They could
Yeah.
Go
easily
bye-bye.
put
You're on
put
mute, Nick.
resources into
Go
some of their
now,
older
invest
franchises.
in studios like Bungie. Literally, they have the studio that
You're on mute.
invented
There
Halo
you go.
right now. Yeah, throw some money at them, and get your own Call of Duty on the road, or to do something else. Like I'm the SOCOM that I mentioned. People want that IP to come back. They truly do. The thing is right now, and I do have my theory about Sony. The problem really is that for Sony, PlayStation is by far the most important brand in the entire company. They are making like, I think, it's depending on the year, and between 60 and 70% of the entire revenue comes from the PlayStation division. So it's a really important division. And the thing is, their stock dropped over the last 10 months significantly.
Yeah.
And
Massive.
I do have the feeling that good old Jimbo is just under pressure, a lot of pressure internally when the stock drops, or
It's gonna-
the
it's definitely
development
gonna
is
happen.
going like that. And how can you course correct that on a short term? You gotta bring in some revenue, and that's why you've seen the price increases. That's why you seen the re-releases, because they are done fairly quickly with super little invest. Like
It comes
BitCloud
down to
said, they
convenience.
basically already have it. They have the PC version ready. It's simply okay. We increase a little bit detail here, a little resolution there, and bam, put it
Mhm.
out, and you get short
That is it.
term,
That is exactly it.
quick revenue, and that's
It's about convenience.
Yeah.
It's more
Yep.
convenient for them to
Exactly.
put out something
yeah.
that
It's
only
like-
came out
like I
a few
said,
years ago
you-
because it's
Why
easier
do
to
you
get
think they're
done
trying
quick.
to do?
If you
Why
if
do
you
they try to
invest
do
in
so
a
much
new game,
PR
you will
now?
get. Yeah, you have to invest. If you develop a new game, you have to invest for 5 years a significant amount of money before you make any return on your
Return, yeah.
investment.
Yep.
So,
Mhm.
of course, that's something you can do right now. You can increase console prices. It will generate you short-term revenue, and you can re-release the same games over and over again. It will generate you short-term revenue. But the thing is,
it's not just that though.
in the long
Box.
term, you will the question is, how much will this kind of strategy hurt in the long run
Yeah.
the brand of PlayStation? So if you're talking about, and I mean with long run, I mean towards the end of this generation, are we gonna
Yeah.
see that being impacted if you don't invest now the money into developing your Call of Duty competitor, but rather focusing on re-releasing Horizon and Spider-Man and Last of Us and you name it, Death Stranding? If you focus on that, yes, maybe your earnings report in 23 looks good, maybe in 24, but will it in 26, 27, 28? That is the big question. And the
Yeah.
second question is, how much will this hurt the reputation of your brand? And this is the most valuable thing a company can have, is a good reputation of your product. And that's what I'm fearing right now with all this business strategies that Jim Ryan is doing right now. He's hurting significantly the reputation and the brand name of PlayStation, and I don't want that. I want a strong competitor towards Xbox, because we all know Xbox is the first one to drop the ball when we start the next generation if they come off too high. We've seen it each and every generation. Look at it. How did we start in the PS3 generation? With Sony coming out, having
Arrogant, saying that
arrogant,
you're gonna work two jobs, they were
two jobs
entitled.
and stuff like that. And then Xbox had a fantastic 360 generation. They were on a high, and look at how they started that. PlayStation came out, had a great PS4 generation, and now we're starting bad with PlayStation, and that it's always but
It's always
this
a
is
shift because they start off being
exactly.
humbled and then they get cocky and go over the top. Like you think about it, okay, yeah, these 2 years, pretty much 2 years of these consoles have been out. Okay, yeah, the PS5 has done well. A lot of great content has dropped on PS5, but majority of the content has been remakes or remasters stuff that
Exactly.
we've already played. So and you think about it, right? That's the wild part. Most of the stuff that we're hyping up or excited for are damn remakes or
Yeah.
remasters or
Mm.
possibly sequels.
And they're remakes and
into next year.
remasters that no one's asking for. And
Yeah.
there's people asking for remakes of Sly Cooper, Jack and Daxter, Resistance
Dude.
Fall of Man, Killzone.
Yeah.
There's
I mean, they
a
probably
whole
look at
slate of-
Nintendo and they see this super successful company that like really literally swims in money.
Yeah.
I mean, Nintendo can sell boxers for games, and they will sell
Yeah.
out. Like that's
Exactly.
how Nintendo's
And
fan base is programmed.
that's the
wild.
thing. Nintendo is its own bubble, but they probably see the success of Nintendo doing this for years now. They have decades now that they sell you the same. I don't know how many times I bought Super Mario Brothers 3. So please don't ask.
That's what it is, though. They definitely looking at Nintendo. They're like, "Yo, dude, Nintendo is like really
Absolutely.
re-releasing everything, and they're selling. They're getting these crazy returns on investments." And it's like, yeah, they are, but keep in mind, Nintendo is one of the most out of touch companies out of here.
Absolutely,
They don't have no online infrastructure that people are proud or happy about. There's nothing about that. So I don't know why we've been attempting to go down that route. What's up?
Yeah, BitCloud, do we have room in the gaming space for two companies, Sony and Nintendo, to be out of touch like Nintendo is?
No.
I don't think so. I don't. Yeah,
Absolutely
No.
not. I want to get.
Here's the wild.
But the
Nintendo
funny
can get
thing
away
is
with it.
Nintendo don't know they're out of touch.
That's
They
the
don't.
problem.
Their fans tell them that everything is amazing.
And that's true. That is true. That is
Nintendo
true.
could pretty much murder someone in front of millions of people and they'd get away with it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They just
That's wild.
put a Pikachu helmet on them or something and be like,
They know a lot of games.
it's a new Pokemon murder and selling next week.
Like, we just had one of the most cringiest moments in gaming. I don't know if you guys remember that damn car with the Pikachu car. We just had
At the
that
Gamescom.
cringe moment.
I remember it all
We
right.
just had that cringy ass moment. And people forgot all about it because Nintendo was just like, Nintendo. They're like, oh, it's Nintendo. They're used to it. I'm like, okay, that's how bad it is with Nintendo. People expect goofy stuff like that. When it comes to Sony, I don't know what the hell to say. Like, I really, really don't, because I don't know if you're gonna talk about the Herman Holtz interview. That's what you're talking about?
We weren't going to, but you can touch on it quickly.
So Herman Holtz, this is where it gets even weirder, Box, right? He said in the interview that okay, obviously they're games as a service games, which I think we all collectively saw coming or will be day and date in their subscription service, which remember I said to you guys multiple times, I wouldn't be surprised by the end of this generation we don't have day and date of some sorts, whether it be the single player or the service or multiplayer. You know what I mean? Now they confirm flat out that their games as a service games will be day and date into the subscription service. So you already lost half your battle right there. But here's where it gets even more funny. He flat out said, a year, not 2 years, not 3 years, not 4 years, not 6 months, a year after each big major release, it will go to PC.
Yeah.
Now, Herman, the way Herman answered that question, you can tell Herman is stressed, a little stressed. Not because they're working with Sony, it's the way people are acting on social media. You can tell by the way he looked when he said it. I'm like, listen, I already called it. I knew it was happening. I said it. It makes logical sense for them to drop it on PC. Why? When you have a 300 or what was it, 250% return on investment on PC, you're not going to turn that down for anything. And mind you, releasing a game a year later is better than releasing it 2 years later when the game's not red hot anymore and it's not getting that much traction. So that's the other thing that Sony's doing. But the thing that threw me through a loop, and I don't know if y'all caught on to it, he said cross-gen games are still going to happen, guys, but it's going to be a case by case basis. So that flat out tells me
That
more
makes
than
me
likely
think
Spider-Man 2
2. Yep,
is
exactly.
definitely going to
Question.
be on PS4. And here's
Yeah.
the wild part.
And
That
Wolverine
might
as
not
well,
be a
I
big,
bet.
yeah, absolutely. That game did too much of an impact with PS4 for them not to put part 2 on there. And that's what they're going to do.
Yeah.
And especially Wolverine. Wolverine, they want that game to, they won't, dude, if they deliver a Wolverine like some Logan vibes, that can be it. You know what I mean? They want that to be on the biggest platforms they possibly can get it on. And that's what they want. But everything about it, though, like, do you say, oh, like the believing generations and all that junk? It's like, dog, I wish y'all just stop y'all just stop listening to everything. Y'all just pay attention to the signs. Like, you know, dude's like, oh, they said this. See, it's a dub. We got a year. I thought, what happened to 5 years?
Yep.
2 years?
Yeah.
3 years? A 1 year exclusivity? So basically, what you're saying is all games
That will
are turning
change
exclusive
eventually, though.
It's definitely
It's
going
only
to
a matter of
change.
time.
The reason why they didn't say it's 6 months, let's face it, y'all know why. It's 2 years into this console gen.
Yep.
Watch when we get to the middle of this console gen. You don't
Yep.
expect that time difference to drop.
Yep. Exactly.
You don't expect these tiers to get more expanded and go forward.
Mhm.
All this stuff is going. The wheels are already turning now. They're turning the wheels full fledged. They see what they can get away with. They see what they can do. I was honestly expecting them to say, "Hey, look, we got a state of play happening because of the Horizon situation." Nothing like that happened. But again, it's like Sony's gotten to this point where they're like, "Yo, we don't even have to do anything like that. We don't have to dangle the keys as much as we did before because most of the stuff that we know about has been leaked."
Yep.
Horizon multiplayer, Horizon remake or remaster, whatever you want to call it. The new games from Studio Liverpool, which is going to be a horror game, right? The Deviation game.
Factions was leaked before they announced it.
Factions. It's like we know
It was-
what to look out
Factions
for.
was supposed to come to Last of Us 2 after launch at some point, but it never did.
Yeah, they scrapped it, or they ain't scrapped it. They cut it because they're like, hey, you know what? The story's already long, and you know, I guess they didn't want to add more value to the game.
Yep.
And
No,
they-
like, we can sell this separately.
I was going to
And
ask
they
you,
have all these leaks literally simply because they are too
Now watch them
quiet.
resell it to you. Yeah,
They
that's
are,
the thing.
They are
They
too
don't care.
quiet.
They don't care.
They don't care anymore. And that was the significant difference in between the PS4 and this generation. And the PS4
damn sure was.
generation.
Like when a leak
It-
happened, they were quick. They either say something or drop it
Exactly.
or a trailer or something.
Exactly.
They were
They
quick.
nailed the communication right out of the gate from the very beginning, where they made fun of Xbox with this is how you trade
Yeah,
games.
trade game. Just like step one. Thank you.
Look at the first 3 or 4 E3s in the. And that's actually when they still went to E3, yeah, and were like in touch with the fan base, and they went to Gamescom and to Tokyo Game Show and so on, Paris Games Week, and
And shout out to Amblix. I appreciate that. A lot of people don't want to give my flowers on that. Y'all remember the report that went around that Sony lost a laptop that had access to their database. How many leaks have happened since then?
Yep. A lot.
Yeah.
A lot.
Just
And there
saying.
was stuff that was on Steam,
Yeah.
right? That leaked.
Yeah.
Yep. There's a lot of stuff that Sony needs to fix, and I don't know what they can do. But at this point in time, that arrogance needs to stop. This whole nickel and
Yeah.
diming, taking the piss out the consumer,
Yeah.
all it's going to do is just piss them off and make them go away. You really think a lot of people are going to stick around for this? Now, granted, if Microsoft doesn't deliver, and this is where this is like a hit and miss.
That's
toss-up for
exactly what
Microsoft.
I wanted to
Yeah,
say.
yeah.
Microsoft is making it so easy right now for them.
Yeah, it's
Simply
stupid.
with a super awful 2022.
Yep.
Of course, Sony can do that. The question is really gonna be how will this continue when you go through 23, where Xbox will probably release around 6 to 7 at least first party games plus another bunch of second party deals. So we are really literally talking here about 9 to 10 major exclusives in 23 for Xbox. Yeah, like literally in the first half alone, they have 7 major exclusives coming, and we don't know about the second half. So will they be able to continue this then? Because right now, of course, it's easy to when you have like God of War coming out in 6 weeks or so. Yeah.
Yeah.
And Xbox literally has nothing. That, of course, Xbox making it easy right
they're
now.
making it
They
easy
can do
with
what.
just a public image. Like
Yeah.
God
Yeah.
of War looks. We all said like God of War looks it looks incredible.
It looks.
What we saw.
Let's be real here.
Yeah,
It
that
puts
looks
everything
incredible.
aside that Xbox has released this gen.
Yeah.
Like Forza Horizon, of obviously gorgeous game, but Razer alone will never be able to compete against this
A God of War.
blockbuster of a God of
exactly.
War. It's just not happening. And Halo Infinite, yeah, but and if you just compare that.
Like the wow factor, you know what I mean? Like you can say
wow, yeah,
sales
exactly. Like
all
I said,
you
this,
want
it's
about
just
a
this.
racer. Yeah.
Exactly what people want, and it's gonna be awesome, no doubt. But it brings me back to my original point about the poor communication right now. We really don't know what's coming after that, and PlayStation was really always good at laying out their roadmap. Remember, I think it was 2015 at E3 where they said, okay, this is God of War, Spider-Man, Death Stranding, Ghost of Tsushima, and this is all Days Gone, and this is all coming over the next years. And people knew exactly what they invested in when they bought a PS4. Yeah, you knew exactly, okay, I get all these new IPs, these awesome looking games. God of War is going to return in a complete new way. And I get a Spider-Man AAA blockbuster game, and I get this and that.
Like it's hard.
And we have literally, outside of the Insomniac games, we have nothing to look forward to. And
we got factions.
Well, I mean, you got that, but the thing is, it's like Sony knows. It's like they know they can get away with this because they're not even sharing the details on Fire Sprite. They're not sharing the details on Deviation Games or Studio Liverpool. They're not doing none of that. They're like, yo, listen, we just showed y'all God of War, Spider-Man 2, and Wolverine. We guarantee that one thing, and that's one thing for certain, that you're gonna buy a PS5 at some point. We guaranteed you this. Now, what does that lead them now? It's like they're trying to play a game of chess. Y'all notice that? Like they're really trying to play it, but it's like
they don't have the winning hand.
Misplace. Yeah, like they keep doing those misplays. You know, they put it one place here, or somebody might call out the play before he could do it in case the leaks. And it's like, dude, we need a better handle on this. Like I don't like this.
Yeah.
I don't like this. The fact that it's been 2 years, and most of the games that we've either talked about on PS4 that have held up well and did well have been re-released, or, you know, at full price.
Yeah.
When you can buy these games or get these games right now for free. And that's the wild part. That kind of takes the piss out of that feature. Y'all remember with the PS5 when you get it, like you get that selection of games, the library of games. Y'all remember that?
Yeah.
That kind of makes that list irrelevant because, like, yeah, you get the same PS4 version, but it's not fully optimized. You might get some performance increase. The fully optimized version you have to pay for in this case for the refinements.
Yep.
So
It's
it's
to wait for the remasters for those.
I want to get Mick on in the conversation. Actually, Mick, what do you make of the whole scenario going around? Remasters and remakes, everything that Sony's kind of their current kind of remit at the moment, which seems to be just rehash things that have recently just released. It's not even things that have been out for a very long time. Like even The Last of Us 1 had 2 versions already and then remade that. And now they're talking about doing a remaster of Horizon.
Yeah.
What do you make of their kind of the tactics currently?
I mean, 5 years is too short.
You're a bit quiet, Mick. You might want to put your mic a little bit closer.
Is that right?
There we
Is
go.
that better?
Yep, that's better.
Yeah, 5 years is too short. You know, there shouldn't be remastering or even remaking stuff that's 5 years. There are people still playing that game now that have only just come, you know, they've only just got to the age where they've either been given or been able to buy themselves their own console.
Yeah.
And they're going through those games as, you know, right now for the first time. To be remastering games at 5 years is ridiculous. I'd say even 10 years is really, you know.
Yeah,
remakes.
or it's even, I was going to say it's even adults like us, for instance, who have been like either on Xbox all the time and they've went, you know what it is, I'm going to go and pick up a PlayStation 4 Pro and I'm going to get through some of the games that PlayStation have to offer. And they're the guys picking up Horizon now to play for the first time. So why would they invest in something that's just come out again?
It seems crazy. I'm fed up of remasters. Full stop. Anyway, remakes they tend to be pretty good. Most remakes seem to hit right. But
Yeah,
I think that's just because there's so much difference between. No, there's obviously a common theme, and there's obviously the story's usually similar, if not the same. But there's a few new twists and turns, so everybody who played it before could enjoy it.
yeah,
But everybody who didn't play it doesn't know any different.
yeah,
But because it looks new and it runs well, they enjoy it as well. And that even then makes people go back and go, well, I wonder what the last version was like.
yeah,
And they're quite lucky in that respect because those games don't tend to be too old and they still run well. So I don't know whether anybody ever goes back. I think was it you before, Jen, recommended go and play Dead Space, the new one first before you play the old one. I can't do that. I can't go from the nice, shiny, smooth 60 frame version and then go back to the 30, 25,
I get
30
that.
frame
I get that.
360 version.
I do get
Yeah.
that.
I remember talking
like,
about first
"Oh,
impressions.
no."
You might as well just treat yourself.
yeah.
That's all.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, but
So-
I think I agree with Mick. Okay, so it's maybe a nice suggestion that Jen did, but I think I will do the same. Just hop on the first one and then see the remake.
Yeah.
Either way, you've got to stream it.
Yep.
Yeah. Definitely gonna do that.
100%. Before we get back into it as well, just to kind of round off this topic nicely as well, I'm going to we're going to get to Jen, and then I'm going to catch up with these two super chats. Thank you, chaps. I haven't missed them. I've got them up here, so I can read them out. But Jen, what's your thoughts on the whole remaster remake thing that Sony seem to be stuck on right now?
Well, with this being what 5 years old or barely even 5 years
I've
old,
seen in
it's
the chat
pretty
before. Actually,
ridiculous.
it's 5 next year, so it's actually 4
And-
years.
And the fact that it's already come to PS5 with a next gen patch, right?
Yeah,
Because they had the whole thing where
It's like a free update. It wasn't,
it wasn't going to be a free upgrade, and people
yeah.
kicked up a stink about that.
Yep.
And then it was a free update.
So they found a way. You see what I'm saying? They'll just keep finding a way to just bring this game back and charge you for it. It's like,
they're
really?
basically remastering a game that's pretty much already been remastered with the next gen version of it coming out. So why? It's odd.
Yeah.
Why? There's so many other PlayStation games they could have remade that
No.
are much more deserving of a remake. I've
Yeah.
listed some of them earlier: Siphon Filter, Jack and Daxter, Sly Cooper, Resistance Forward Man. There's
And this is
a
I was
whole
gonna-
slate of Sony released games
A
that
general.
came out 10 plus years ago.
yeah.
They just celebrated
have a
Sly
remake.
Cooper's anniversary.
To me, it just
And-
comes across that it's more convenient for them because these games are newer,
Yeah.
just to take them in, give them a little polish, put them back out.
Yeah. The one thing, the kind of linking into that and what you're saying with regards to historic IPs also kind of links into what Boxy was saying before with regards to hurting themselves in the future. Like, if the better kind of idea here for Sony would be to go to the old games that you had.
And I
that need
think that will
remasters,
happen.
because the new
but
generation
right-
of gamers haven't played Siphon Filter, they haven't played
Yeah.
SOCOM, they haven't played like Killzone or any of the the originals because they're new. They are the new gamer. They have played your Horizon, they have played your God of War, they have played the Spider-Man. So you don't need to remaster these things that are there. You didn't even need technically to remaster or remake the Last of Us Part 1 because that had a PlayStation 4 version that was 60 frames with HDR. That was fine. They didn't need it, but they chose to. So I think going forward it will hurt them because if you continue to concentrate on remasters and not have new experiences going forward, like Boxy was kind of saying there, in the long run it is going to hurt them.
It will if they keep focusing on games that come out in the last 5 to 8 years, like
Yeah.
they have with the Last of Us. Well, 9 years with the Last of Us.
Also, I want to. Oh, please.
But yeah, my point is, I do think they will work on some of these classic IPs. It's inevitable at this point.
Inevitable, yeah.
But it's more convenient for them to push these newer games out because it's easier for them to get these out quickly within a year or two. And all the time while they're working on remakes for these classic games, they will put out these newer remakes or remasters because that will pad out their library of games.
Yeah.
And in my opinion, it is pretty stupid because most of us have already played these games, and most people probably not going to pick these remasters up if they're that like fresh off the press, pretty much.
Yeah. That's
No.
fair. Boxy, what were you going to say? And then we'll get to these super chats and we'll get into the next topic.
The thing is about all these remasters, not the remakes, the remasters.
Yeah.
Is Xbox has put out an incredible backwards compatibility program.
Mhm.
Basically, all these games are automatically remasters. Yeah, you
All
get
bells and
six-
whistles.
exactly. You get the FPS boost, auto HDR. You get the 16 times anisotropic filtering, the resolution bump, and everything. It's like if you look at a game like Gears 3 or Gears 2, if you play that right now on your Series X, it already runs in 4K. It runs in 60
yeah, I
I
would
did
say
do that
yes.
recently. I went through
Yeah.
all the Gears
And-
games, and playing that all through backwards compatible was like playing those games for the
Yeah.
first time.
You know what's even the most impressive backwards compatible one that a lot of people still don't talk about was Red Dead Redemption 1. When they dropped the
Okay.
the update for that,
Yeah.
and that's 4K 60 frames HDR. I'm like, what? And it
It's
looks
amazing.
But
fantastic.
Yeah.
it was even, I think it was dynamic as well. So
Yeah,
the textures turned up
yeah,
to like the PC level as well.
Yeah.
So there was even a bump in texture, the look of the textures. So that was a great upgrade.
Oh, it was unbelievable. And again, as Boxy's saying there, it's because like Xbox have that already, so they don't need to go back and do it because they've already got this unbelievable backwards compatibility program, which isn't just play your old games. It's okay, you can play your old games, but you also get 4K 60 HDR. You get all of this boost for free. Like everything's boop. There you go. It looks shiny. It feels new. It feels up to date. Like you can actually enjoy the games you love to enjoy, but it feels better. It looks better. Sounds
Why are you
better.
talking down on greatness? How dare you?
I need to throw them some money.
Nah, Dutch,
I'll
you
get
need
a
to get
third
into a
job.
new tax bracket. You
Yeah.
can't afford gaming. Gaming is expensive. Get a new tax bracket. Get another job.
I was gonna
It's
say
like, I never
Don
thought I'd see
Don-
idiots. not
Don
like
Sicario in
Sony
the chat
and
before
PS2
said-
gen.
Don Sicario in the chat did say get a third job.
No, but the fact you got like fans trying to say, or fanboys telling us to get another job to
Yeah.
support that. Like, are you out your mind? Are you out your mind? Like, really?
Yeah.
Come on, man.
100%.
I mean,
No,
there
you're
was
not a
time-
real
there
fan
was
if
a
you don't
time when
buy it.
there was a time when Sony was telling us to get another job. So
Yeah,
We were outraged.
Can't-
Now all of a sudden
can't-
we're okay with it.
yeah, exactly.
exactly. Let's
Bunch of
catch up on the
simps.
super chats quickly, and then we'll get into the next topic as well. So, quickly from Mr. Joanna Dark, he says, "What are your thoughts about?" And this is directly relating to, of course, the fact that the new version of Horizon's meant to be including all of these accessibility features. What are your thoughts about Sony charging users for accessibility features? Should that cost be put on the customers who may need to enjoy them in that
First
way?
of all,
No.
accessibility features should be automatically free and be patched in with updates.
Yep.
Yep.
That's it.
Yeah.
Like, there's no excuse whatsoever for that to be put behind any by any paywall whatsoever. Again, you're talking about letting people with disabilities enjoy the games, especially with The Last of Us. Like, as much as I give in Last of Us shade for
Yeah.
and for what they've done, the fact that they had that accessibility feature to where if you're deaf, they explain it for you. You know what I'm talking about? Like, that was actually brilliant.
Yeah.
But why is that hidden behind a paywall?
Exactly.
That's
And
what kills me.
the next one as well from Fanto Sir, and this is, I think, alluding to one of your points as well, BitCloud. £2 super chat, thank you for that, sir. He said, if Logan and Spidey 2 is on PS4, I'm never getting the PlayStation 5. And it's a point. If they continue to re-release them, there's going to be less and less need for people to have to go out and get the next-gen console. If you want the newest, shiniest version of it, yeah, fair enough. But if you don't need to, and you're still going to be able to play the game? Are people going to go out and rush to get a PlayStation 5, or is that going to drop the demand on the PlayStation 5 if you continue to release cross-generation games? Throughout?
Just that whole that they're going to continue to release cross-generation games is weird when we're like 2 years into this
Yeah.
generation.
Yeah, very weird. We know that Xbox going forward, next year onwards, aren't releasing any cross-generation games.
Mm-hmm. That's what I
Redfall
said.
isn't.
Like, and that's why I agree
Forza
with
isn't.
Boxy, the
Starfield isn't.
Hmm.
None of them.
That's yeah.
Like
That's why I
two
agree with,
years, you can
Boxy
get away
about
with
it.
2 years because that's
It
more
comes
like
down
a
to numbers.
transitional period.
Yeah.
But 3, 4, possibly even 5 with some of these PlayStation games. That's a little
Mhm.
bit baffling to me.
Yeah, absolutely. It's
Especially the fact that these new consoles are the fastest selling consoles.
yeah.
That's even makes
Record
more
profits.
or less sense. I can't even
Gaming-
string a
yeah.
sentence together properly.
Gaming as a whole is, well, for Sony at least, Sony's making record profits. And you mean to
Mm.
tell me you can't take a loss on hardware for consumers' benefit? You can't do this. that,
They're
and the
making
third?
record profits, but they'll up the price of their console and
Yeah,
the
they'll,
games are
they'll make
$70.
they'll make the manufacturer of the console cheaper by revising the version, and then they'll also increase the price.
Or my personal favorite, they cut the heatsink.
Yep.
Remember that of the original, and now there's already talks of another revision.
Yeah.
Then we had this conversation,
And
Dutch.
then
Yep.
There might
the
be another
SoC.
revision afterwards. Remember that?
Yep.
Might be a revision, and here we are. So it's like,
Yeah.
and
And
it's
we've
funny.
seen the SoC reduction recently. Like they shrank that, I think 35% in size. So
It's like people are not paying attention to this, like
Mhm.
on some real. And what's even more wild about it too, every time there's an issue, it feels like these dudes act like they have degrees or something.
Yeah.
When it was the SoC / thermal, or not thermal, the heatsink situation, dudes act like they had degrees in thermodynamics. You know, like really?
Yep.
Then we get into economics because of pricing.
Yep.
It's like you dudes got excuse for everything, but now y'all want to complain about Horizon getting a remake or remaster.
Yeah.
Y'all okay this behavior every day. It does nothing. It kills me. It's
Exactly.
like, I can't.
It baffles me some of the excuses people make and some of the armchair analysts that are out there. So
Armchair.
But never mind. Never mind. A little bit more positive news, though.
I have a degree in Google.
Hey, I have a degree in content creation. I'm told the multi-billion-dollar corporation how to
Be
advertise.
I'm a
careful
Bing
they don't
search
cancel it
expert.
on you.
Yeah.
Oh man, these
dear me.
dudes.
But some awesome news though that did come out this week for fans of CD Projekt Red, of course, as they released a huge roadmap of their upcoming
Yes.
projects. Not only that, but they kind of stipulated their overall business plan going forward as well, which has some wide-scaled and great, I think, great news personally for the company. In terms of what they're focusing on, and they're literally limiting their focus onto 3 major IPs for their company and keeping it that way. But they're expanding those IPs into different avenues, whether it be film, whether it be TV series, i.e. anime, like we had with Cyberpunk Edgerunners recently, whether it be comic books, merchandise, mobile. Across the board, there's a few different things that they're going into, but there was a lot of news that come out of it. So to kind of summarize it neatly without going into project names, because of course they were all project names for the vast majority of it, they announced essentially an update on the sales that they've had for their 2 major IPs so far. So of course the Witcher series has now sold over 65 million copies. Cyberpunk has sold over 20 million copies so far. And that is, of course, not including the fact that originally they had to refund about
Refund it,
6 million copies at launch due to the issues they were having. So they've made that back and then some. They have now announced, of course, which we already were aware of, the Phantom Liberty huge expansion. They detail that as being a very large expansion to Cyberpunk coming up next year, of course. That is a next-gen only expansion, so it will not be available on previous-gen consoles. Obviously, a mega bonus for everybody that was kind of complaining about the fact that it should never have released on the previous gen anyway because of its performance issues. So that's huge. But going into the future, The Witcher as a series is getting 5 new games coming up, which is awesome. So, of course, The Witcher themselves are getting a brand new trilogy, a mainline trilogy from the direct CD Projekt Red team. You also have 2 separate teams. So one is an outsourced team that's going to be doing their own spin-off of the Witcher series. So a brand new Witcher game that is separate from the trilogy. And then CD Projekt Red veterans at the moment are also creating another spin-off in the pipeline. So you're going to have a brand new trilogy directly from the first trilogy that is going to be released, and then 2 spin-off games that are by other teams separate from the core CDPR team. Aside from that, they're also working on the Cyberpunk sequel, which they've already announced. That has Project Orion as a codename. The early stages of discussions are incoming for that one. But they have said this is going to essentially fully realize the world that they've created, not be held back by things. So I don't think they're going to make the same mistakes for the next one as they did this one, and that is hold themselves back by trying to release it on a console that will not be powerful enough to do what they want to do. So the next Cyberpunk will fully realize all of their ambitions of Night City. Or whatever city that they have that in. Of course, in due course, we'll learn about that. In the last...
All this talk with Cyberpunk is making me want to reinstall it.
Just do it. Do it.
Yeah, do
I'm
it.
trying to fight the urge because I want to wait for the DLC to be closer to coming out and then go for it. But I'm like, I don't know if
You
I
won't
can
have
wait now.
time next year. You have time now, dude.
Yeah, do it now. Do it now.
Yeah, no.
And then the final one, which of course is the icing on the cake from CDPR, is the announcement that this is going to be the final and third in the franchises that they're going to have as core franchises for the company going forwards. And that is a brand new IP. So there is no details on it so far, but it is a brand new IP that is currently in the research and development mode at the moment. So they're going through ideas, they're putting everything together, and they're coming up with that. They have a team of, I think they stipulated about 50 people currently coming up with all of the ideas and the worlds and the artwork and everything to go towards that going forwards, that are currently working on that project. They have 150 working on, which is the largest section, working on the next Witcher at the moment. They have another 50 working on 50 of the veterans working on one of the Witcher side projects, and then of course they've got the outsourced team, and I keep forgetting the name, but they've even put it on Twitter now. They've got a really strange studio name. They're working on, of course, the other side project. Aside from that, other strategies from CDPR were, of course, they will tie these 3 major franchises into new films. They will tie them into new TV series, comic books, merchandise, mobile apps or mobile games, pretty much everything. They're going to focus only on these franchises. So Witcher series, Cyberpunk series, and the new IP. That is going to be them as a company, and that's what they're going to be known for. I'm going to get to Boxy first, because Boxy has played Witcher probably 345 times so far, and I know he's going to play another version of it when it comes out into the next gen. So, Boxy, what do you make of this huge update from CD Projekt Red?
Oh, it's fantastic. It's fantastic. I mean, you can really tell their ambitions to grow and to expand not just the Witcher IP. They are building a complete new studio located in the US.
Yeah.
by the way, which is gonna tackle Cyberpunk 2, which it's obvious an IP for them. They're gonna continue that franchise, and they probably will learn from their mistakes. We get spin-offs, 2 spin-offs. I'm expecting, of course, an MMO kind of game from The Witcher, the multiplayer one.
Yeah.
Just
That's a
would
good
make
point. Actually,
sense.
I forgot to mention that though, Boxy. They did mention they will be looking to implement multiplayer into these franchises.
No, one of they have like these 2 spin-offs, and one of them is a multiplayer game,
Yeah.
and the other one is like a different story,
Yeah.
but set in the same timeline where the Witcher trilogy took place.
Yeah.
And the new trilogy is gonna be an entirely new story
brand new.
in that universe.
Yeah.
And by the way, you forgot to mention that. I'm getting goosebumps thinking about this. They said in the 6 years after the first of the 3 Witcher games comes out, the other 2 will release. So basically, they're on a 3 years cadence. Whenever they release the first of in the trilogy, like 3 years later we get the second, and another 3 years later we get the third. Let's see if they can keep that promise, but it sounds fantastic, because that means basically that they are right now developing the entire trilogy, the story, and where it goes, and then they just build upon it. It is definitely an ambitious endeavor, but yeah, man, I'm excited. CD Projekt, yeah, they dropped the ball with Cyberpunk. That's no problem, but I also have to say, I feel like because they were the community's darling, and CD Projekt Red was the community's darling, like literally they couldn't do any wrong. The community came extra hard after them, because we have seen a ton of other games releasing also in bad states, and we have not seen the same shitstorm coming over them.
I agree.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm glad they are over that. I'm glad that they have ambitions to grow, to expand into other countries, into other territories. I'm also excited to see what the new IP is gonna be. Yeah, we have now a futuristic sci-fi cyberpunk setting. We have like this high fantasy setting in The Witcher. What's the other IP gonna be? I'm actually hoping that they try something outside of the RPG space, and I can't believe I'm saying that, but because everyone knows how much I love RPGs, and especially the ones from CD Projekt Red. But I want to see their take on let's say a linear action adventure or something. That would be cool to see. And then we have that multiplayer Witcher game. Like I said, I expect something MMO like. I don't expect it to be a I don't know, a battle royale or something, obviously. So yeah, man, it's exciting to see. I wonder what the next Witcher game will look like in Unreal 5. It must be madness, and I was excited. My only thing about this entire investor call, and we have to say again that it was an investor call. And I can rarely think of an investor call that got me as excited as this one. The only thing is, the only thing is, we still don't have a date for the next gen patch of The Witcher 3. I really hope that it will drop this year.
Well, I was going to say,
in my mind,
we don't have the date, but again, the Cyberpunk didn't drop a date either. They just released it, so I'm assuming it's going to do the same. And previously, I think the actual update itself, them saying, "Oh no, we're confident it's definitely still coming this year," was to investors. I don't think it was meant to be public. I think it was an investor thing. So.
I feel like December is a good spot for them to surprise.
Just drop it.
I mean, they have that little
Christmas present,
mini spin-off coming on Netflix. Because season 3 of The Witcher
is next
on
year.
Netflix is going to be summer next year. So, but they have this little spin-off thing, mini-series coming in December, so it would make sense, and I sure hope it will come then, because I would love to have like Witcher as my game over the holiday season and the holidays. Yeah, when I'm at home, it's cold outside. I'd love to play through the entire thing again. If for some reason they move it into 23 again, bad idea, because if I have the choice in between my 5th playthrough of The Witcher or the 1st of Starfield, it's obvious what I'm gonna do. So
It's
Witcher.
the
No,
Witcher.
It's Witcher, isn't it?
of course, of course.
I just think that Doom Reaper in the chat has put that the 10th of the 10th is the Witcher's birthday, but I can't. I think if it was going to come
Well, that'll
out
be next
what,
week.
5 days from now, yeah, I think we might have heard something.
Who knows? It could be a
unfortunately.
surprise.
It could be.
Could be a nice surprise, definitely.
To
Fingers
be
crossed for
fair,
that one, but I doubt it.
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to seeing the update, but I'm personally more interested to see what the Witcher franchise is going to look on Unreal Engine 5.
Oh yeah.
That engine in itself is incredible anyway, and there's so much that can be done with it, especially with mega scans and things that are built straight into it now. How easily it will be for them to create these ultra realistic and ultra detailed worlds for The Witcher using photogrammetry. It's going to be it already looks extremely good anyway, and imagine that with now photogrammetry going forwards as well. It's just going to be looking.
All these projects are going to be in Unreal Engine 5.
I mean,
right?
realistically, yeah, Jen. And realistically, we talk here about, I want to say, at least 26.
Yeah.
For that game, I think like at least 4 years out. For that next Witcher game.
Yes.
So by then, we will have the upgraded console versions, the PS5 Pro and the Xbox Series, whatever it's called. And it's gonna be glorious. Yeah, we have like our 7090s or 6090s by
He
then.
said
at
our
home.
7090s. Stop it.
It's gonna be an
Stop it.
8090. It's gonna be a
An 8090, maybe an 8090 by then. We have our Zen 8 CPUs or something like that by then. So
Zen 10.
Zen 44. Huh?
Yeah.
and it's gonna be magnificent.
RDNA 3.
Yeah, eventually get the
RDNA 12.
RDNA
We are
3.
talking
Oh,
RDNA
no,
5.
yeah,
RDNA
what's
3
that?
is coming this year, dude.
Yeah, we're doing all right.
This year, RDNA 3. It's always when people say there won't be any console upgrades because the consoles are so far advanced. Dude, if you look at I have a 3080, which is now outdated already.
Yep.
Yeah, in my PC, and I have more teraflops in that GPU than the PS5 and the Xbox Series X combined.
Yeah.
And we have this year Zen 4 CPUs in the consoles. We have Zen 2.
Yeah.
RDNA 3 is coming this year. We have like it's
They're now
no
mastering
question.
DLSS. Yeah, they're mastering
DLSS, yeah. So we there is no question that by 24 we will see enhanced consoles. No.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, you're gonna see
Yeah.
DLSS be implemented this time, like heavily implemented. It won't be
Mm.
code named. You'll have the full-fledged version of it.
100%.
Maybe not like the
Xbox
the
Series
100
Double
temp-
X and
Triple
PS5.
Yeah,
X
not
is
sure.
going to have
The
Vin
Or-
Diesel.
problem is
Xbox
I really
Triple
think
X.
it's gonna be called the Elite
With
Series
Vin
at
Diesel
that point.
advertising it.
Yeah,
The
they're
Elite
gonna- they're
Series,
gonna call it
yeah,
the
maybe.
Elite- yeah.
the thing is about DLSS. I'm with you that the focus of these next gen enhancements, enhanced consoles,
That's the
PS5 Pro and
performance.
Series whatever, is gonna be like upscaling technology,
Oh,
AI-based upscaling. 100%. It's not gonna be DLSS because AMD still doesn't have like these tensor cores. They do it all software-based
They have their
at the moment.
They have their own variant though. It's like their own variant.
They rely on AMD FSR
yeah,
right
FSR,
now.
yeah.
But the FSR is software based. It's not hardware accelerated.
Yeah.
And as good as it is, it cannot compete. When you look at DLSS 3, what this technology can do,
Yeah,
because it
it's
has
wild.
these tensor cores in the silicon. I'm sorry, AMD is not going to compete with that, especially not by 24, where we have DLSS 4.
Yeah.
Yeah, in 24 we will talk about DLSS 4. People forget.
Yeah, by the time we get to 4, they'll probably now just start getting into hardware versions of it.
And honestly, I don't know if this is gonna happen, but I have a theory, and the point is, both Sony and this goes for both of them, both console manufacturers, both rely on AMD, because AMD is the only supplier that delivers them these SoCs where you have like the GPU and the CPU on the same chiplet.
You think Nvidia would get on board?
No, because Nvidia doesn't have a CPU. They would have, but a CPU, they don't have CPUs.
Yeah.
But Intel is releasing their premium GPUs this year. They are reaching into that market, and they have those silicon tensor cores on their GPUs. And Intel is the only manufacturer that can compete with AMD now. And I wonder if Sony and Microsoft will look into that, because they have the same architecture. We're already all running on x86. It's bam, little driver adjustments, and there you go. But the thing is, they are the ones that can actually provide the silicon, the SoC with the GPU, CPU that can support that technology. And I wonder if they will look into that. Mark my words.
Yeah. Pat, having recently got into and got addicted to Cyberpunk,
Yeah.
what is and I know, did you manage to get to the end, or did you not? Have you not done that yet? You just went on the side quest route?
Yes. I've decided to go on the side quest route because I wanted to stream that last mission.
Yeah.
Because you guys want to see which decision I'm gonna make. So
yes.
yeah, I'm now busy with the side missions, and so far it feels like you're still in the main story, you know. So that's how good the game is.
Yeah.
And I'm happy that I jumped back right into the game not so long ago, and hearing this news with this DLC. Basically, it's a whole new game that they're gonna bring out, you know. So yeah, I think it's a good step for them to do, since they didn't start that good, of course, with all the shit that was going on with the game. So yeah, and then you have all the other games with the Witcher, and so yeah, they did a lot of work. And yeah, it's how long will it take for them to like release all those games, you know? Like it's insane.
Well, the good thing, I was going to say, the good news for you is, of course, we all get Phantom Liberty at the beginning of next year. So that's like, I think, March or something that's coming out. The beginning of next year, you get Phantom Liberty. So a huge and only DLC for Cyberpunk. But of course, then you get the news that they are working on the next one as well. So the next one's already in kind of early pre-production / kind of thought phase now. So they've got a strike, what they classed as a strike force, working on the ideas for the game. So are you happy both not only getting this mega huge next gen only DLC, but of course now knowing that they're definitely making a sequel?
Oh yeah, of course. Like I said, it's a good thing, you know, like to get the sequel. And the one thing that I'm actually looking forward to is The Witcher.
Yeah.
Because I've played The Witcher 3.
Yeah.
For a small part, not all of it, because it's a huge game.
Yeah.
But hearing that there's going to be a multiplayer game of The Witcher is really interesting, because like Boxy said, probably it's not going to be like a battle royale, because that it's not the type of game to have a battle royale.
Yeah.
It's so
maybe it's more of a streamlined game. Maybe he's nowhere near the size of a regular Witcher. Maybe he's Maybe it's a 30,
Yeah,
30, 40 hour.
maybe it's
experience.
like some kind of with team battles or that kind of stuff, you know. So yeah, it's good for them to see the progress that they made
Yeah.
the last few years, of course, because this is not what they do in a few months, I think. But yeah, it's really nice to see that they doing a good thing, especially for the recently shitty start of Cyberpunk.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. Mick, what about yourself? With both Cyberpunk and Witcher and all the news that came out of CDPR this week, what's your thoughts going forward? Is this something that excites you, especially a new IP in the work? And what
New IPs.
and additional one,
Go on.
and additional one for you, Mick. What would you like that new IP to be? As Boxy mentioned, they've already got a ultra futuristic Cyberpunk. They've got like a medieval high fantasy Witcher. What do you think they should do, and what would you like to see from this new IP?
Peppa Pig RPG. just for Jen.
Oh no.
Just for Jen.
No.
I'll play it on stream.
No, but seriously,
I'm not with them, everybody in the chat.
Pepper Punk. That's what it'll
Peppa
be.
Punk.
Peppa Punk.
Got it. New one.
But seriously, obviously excited for The Witcher if that comes. You know, the update for that. But that's the main thing I was hoping to get from that, but obviously we didn't. The Cyberpunk stuff has made me want to go back.
Yeah.
I did get into it, got halfway through. I played it at launch.
Yep.
Didn't finish it like anywhere near.
Yeah.
Barely got past the first bit where you lose the certain person at the beginning.
Yep.
And then fell off. Went back when it got its Series X upgrade.
Yep.
Enjoyed it. Was good. Got into it. And then I think something else came along and I just fell off it again.
Yeah.
I want to go back again and try this Edge Runners DLC.
Yeah.
And definitely get back into that again at some point. Always excited for new IPs, especially from somebody like this.
Yeah.
You know,
Highly creative.
I don't know what I'd like to see, to be honest. It's like you say, we've had that kind of, I was to say, like, you know, like Fable. It's a similar sort of
similar kind of world.
Sort of old world is like Witcher, isn't it? So we've had that essentially off them. Cyberpunk's obviously the future. I don't particularly want a kind of, you know, sort of somewhere in between modern day life with a bit of, you know, futuristic stuff in it, because that's not far enough away from Cyberpunk. So I don't know. Maybe they could give Red Dead a run for their money and do some sort of
A Western.
Western cowboy
Yeah,
RPG.
please. Yeah.
Just off.
I didn't even think about that.
Top of my head, that was just sort of, you know, because nobody's really, apart from Red Dead, there was only ever Gun. If anyone remembers that.
Gun, yeah.
And there's never, and that was a great game, but it was just an action game. There wasn't any sort of, you know, wasn't much to it, but it was fun. Maybe a cowboy western sort of RPG. Maybe that'd be a
Don't
thing.
give me hopes, Mick. Don't give me hopes, please. Because now I want that.
It'd be nice to see someone sort of challenge Rockstar, because
Red Dead, yeah.
Yeah, because nobody seems to bother. It's like they just
They could
don't
go in
bother.
that Grand Theft Auto style direction.
I mean, they could do.
So cyber cowboys.
Cyberpunk is already basically like GTA.
But in the future.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No,
True, but I guess more modern would
Stick
be.
with a Western.
I'd stick with a Western RPG. I think would be.
Damn it, Mick. Why'd you do
different.
this to me?
He's going to be dreaming of that now. Like,
Yeah, that's
CD
it.
Projekt Red Western.
I'm just going to be spamming them every day now until it's a Western game.
And if I'm right, I'm coming.
Yeah.
I'm claiming the credit.
We'll come back to you in 7 years, Mick, and we'll see what.
Only 7?
You never know.
72
I
years.
think
more
you're going to
like.
you got to set realistic expectations now. It's going to be at least 10.
Especially with CD Projekt Red. I mean, it took them long
Exactly.
enough, and they announced like Cyberpunk, what, like 10 years before it came
10,
out.
10 years, yeah, 10 years.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, yeah.
Big Cloud, what about yourself? Are you happy about all this news that's come out from CDPR, and what IP would you like to see as the new one?
The only thing I'm curious about is like how long is it gonna be till we actually see these games?
Yeah.
That's the only thing I'm kind of worried about because let's see. I mean,
Well, essentially
trying to look at the
after, so
track
we
record
we
here.
can be rest in the knowledge that as soon as the Cyberpunk Phantom Liberty launches, which has the
Yeah.
vast majority of their core team working on currently, as soon as that's done, there's going to be about 50 that stay behind to kind of make sure everything's okay for the first year or so. The remainder will go on to the next project, so which will be Witcher, of course, because that's the main one in the pipeline.
Yeah, which kind of makes the window kind of like, I guess, the wait time, you know what I mean? Crazy long. So it's probably going to be like 2026 do you see Witcher or 2027 do you see Witcher or something at this point. But no, I'm happy that they are obviously good faith. They're putting out the products. They're excited to announce them and whatnot. Cyberpunk, despite the ridiculously bad launch, it is a very pretty game and very creative. And I did enjoy what I played for the most part, aside from this one section. I don't know if y'all remember like the big buff dude. He walks past the lockers. In my game, he walks past the lockers, but he like phases in, and then the lockers start to expand.
Do you mean Adam Smasher?
And then they explode. Yeah, and then they explode. The lockers explode. So that was a weird glitch I ran into with the game, but it's running a hell of a lot better than what we've seen at launch. And they did, for the most part, they did their best in the time they did. And I just hope they learned their lesson from this point. Let's not overhype on stuff that we can't deliver. You know what I mean? Let's make sure the game is done, ready. Let's not try to rush it to meet no deadline. Because if this was any other company, that would have been it.
Yeah.
So they learned the hard way that you got to just be. They learned the hard way that transparency is definitely the key.
Yeah.
If they need to delay that game at the time, which we all can agree it needed to be delayed, they should have delayed it.
Yeah.
So I don't expect to ever see them go through that again. I see the next one being a love letter to fans.
Yeah.
And I think everybody would be happy, especially with the TV show doing very, really well. If a TV show has renewed interest in the overall game as a whole, then you have something here that you need to treat with a little bit more passion towards. So that's my take on it.
And what about the new IP? What would you like to see come from that? So we've got a Western on for Mick. What about you? What would you love to see?
Everything is RPG based, I would love to see these guys do something a little different. Just wow us, you know what I mean? It doesn't matter if it's an RPG or whatnot. Hell, with all the damn superhero games being made, I would love to see CD Projekt Red take on a superhero.
Yeah, Stuffed Sean said that in the chat as well. Actually, he said if CDPR did a superhero game, which one? So what one would you like to see CDPR tackle?
See, that's the thing. There's so many superheroes that can. I'm pretty sure they can nail. So I'll just call out a few. I'll say Spawn, because I think Spawn would be fire with this studio.
Yeah.
I think.
What about an actual Thor? Because the only Thor games we've had have been ridiculous, like really bad.
Yeah. See, if
It'd
I'm
have to
doing
be an
Thor,
RPG though, right?
Yeah,
that's what they're good at. That's what they're known for. So
yeah,
it has
Thor
to be an RPG.
would be more so. It would feel more so of Assassin's Creed if they did that, because they will go with the RPG type of route, and unless they really make the world like really, really special, you know what I mean? Like, and you can go to different realms type of thing. I don't see Thor being the best pick for him unless they're doing something like a grounded style where it's all about like the set piece / wow factor.
Yeah.
Kind of like what you see with God of War, that third person perspective type of approach. I can see that if they want to do something like that. But Thor, I say give Thor a break. Let's give Captain America a shot.
Oh.
I think these guys can nail Captain America.
Will they go for Captain America though with the Captain America Black Panther game that's in the works?
I mean, that's the thing too, right? Like, it's, you got Black Panther. That was true. You got Cap already being brought up, but
Don Sicario's got a good one. He said CD Projekt Red doing a Judge Dredd game as a layup.
Judge Dre up. Oh, yeah. No, that's good. That's a Judge Dre up. Judge Dredd was a go.
I don't see it being that because it does say new standalone IP distinct from Witcher and Cyberpunk 2077.
Yeah, that's the
So,
thing.
And
We just
Dread
saw
is basically Cyberpunk, pretty much.
Yeah. We just saw the Unreal. I don't know if y'all saw it, the Unreal Engine demo for Iron Man. Did I see that?
Yeah.
That little, that looks fantastic. And it's just flying. And I mean, like, that looks really, really good. I'm trying to think of something that I know would work. Very, very creative. Because, not many studios can pull off select characters. I think Doctor Strange would work with them too.
Mm-hmm.
And also another character that was to be realistic. I say Blade.
Yeah.
I can see Blade.
That was on
Blade
my
would be
list.
awesome.
Yeah,
I do have another one, but I'll wait for my moment.
Yeah, but no, that I would definitely be on board. I'm surprised we never seen a single studio try to redo the Injustice games.
Yeah.
But instead of them being like the fighter arena, I'm talking about the games that we have here, like it's like Mortal Kombat.
Yeah.
Make it single player. Why not? You know what I mean? Make that single player crazy story game. Have y'all read the comics for Injustice?
Yeah.
It's incredible. Look at Comic Historian. Box. Look up Comic Historian and put Injustice.
Okay.
You will be mesmerized by how well that story is and what they've done. Like, you'd be like, damn, I need this as a game. It's that good. It's really, really that good. So we already got Suicide Squad. So it's like, hey, why not Injustice?
Yeah.
So, there you go.
Yeah, sure.
That's a good shout. Jen, getting to you. What about all this CDPR news? And, of course, what IP would you like to see them create with this new, distinct, separate universe they're creating?
Well, we've seen them tackle a book series with The Witcher.
Yep.
We've seen them tackle a tabletop miniatures game with Cyberpunk. I think maybe now they look to either a TV show or a movie IP, and maybe go with something like that, or possibly, like BitCloud said, into the superhero direction. Punisher game would be awesome to see as an RPG.
Oh, that's good.
Custom weapons, custom armor, something like that. But to take it to a different level, Power Rangers RPG game. You choose your Power Ranger, whether it be Green Ranger, Pink Ranger, whatever Ranger you want to be. You get to make your Power Ranger. That would be awesome to see. I'm a huge Mighty Morphin Power Rangers fan.
If I would have, that's good. I would have went with Shattered Grid.
They could do something.
I would have done that comic, Shattered Grid. That would have been perfect.
That would be awesome to see. Like you are an unknown, unnamed ranger. You get to choose your character, name your ranger, and maybe throughout the entirety of the game, you're bringing together a Power Rangers team, and you're the leader of that team.
Oh yeah,
that would be something I would love to see. I've been wanting something like that for Power Rangers for a long time. Being a fan of the OG series.
We know, and it depends. We know from CDPR's history, though, and this is where Power Rangers might fall off. CDPR's history is the fact that they're always very mature games.
Shattered Grid is mature.
There is actually a mature Power Rangers IP in the works at Netflix.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
Shattered Grid actually has death.
How mature?
It actually has legit death.
Shattered Grid is pretty ruthless at points.
Yeah. Okay.
Or hell, do something ambitious.
That's not what I meant.
No. I mean, honestly, they don't even have to follow the original format. Jen, I don't know if you've seen that short film. Remember that Power Rangers short film that was made by that director? Remember, it was like rated R. It was like, you know what I mean? It was blood. Guts,
that was the one that
everything.
was like removed off the internet, and then they allowed they were allowed to upload it again. Yeah.
And everybody was like, "Oh, this has got to be the most perfect adaptation they've ever seen." It was kind of like Cyberpunk-esque, but it had if I remember, wasn't the Machine Empire took over the world? That's what it was. That's why
I think it was. Yeah.
Cyberpunk.
It's been a while since I've seen that, but yeah.
Yeah, that was something I would get behind for a game because it's like that is believable. It's like instead of these superheroes winning, now they get the shit kicked out of them, and now they have to like live with the choices and actually survive. I actually think that's a better attempt.
I'd love to see a Power Rangers game like an RPG. I've actually talked this idea to Studos a few times.
Another good shout
'Cause he's a
actually from
fan of Power
Fanto
Rangers.
Sir in the chat. He says an X-Men RPG, make your own mutant.
That would be
Essentially,
cool.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
that would be a good idea as well. That's a very much
Star
on the
Wars,
same. Yeah.
but I think Star Wars kind of a little oversaturated.
Well,
right
you never
now.
know because obviously Star Wars have got like 400 million IPs in development currently. So.
I mean, yeah, the faith has been renewed. And shout out to God, I forgot nobody's talking about it, but shout out to the game that honestly, in my honest opinion, even though it got robbed twice, it started a revolution. That was Jedi Fallen Order.
Yeah.
But now Jedi Survivor. Jedi Survivor looks fucking incredible.
Yeah.
What we saw. I cannot wait for that game.
Yeah, that's gonna be awesome.
Dude, the dude has one arm he's fighting. I don't know who that is, but I gotta know who. I gotta see what that is.
Yeah.
I mean, personally, I wouldn't want them to do a Marvel game because the whole Marvel IP is very oversaturated as well. There's a lot of people working on Marvel games. Go the DC route. Green Arrow. Grab Green Arrow IP. Make that into an RPG.
Yeah.
I wouldn't go with Green Arrow after the show.
Sour Blow's going a bit.
Not so much the show.
I was
but
gonna,
That was after the
based
show.
on
I would avoid them
on the
altogether.
comic.
Sour Blow's going all rated R version of Pokemon. He says, "Let's go full rated R version of Pokemon by CD Projekt Red. Kill Pikachu."
I mean, they don't even have to do a hero. They could do a villain.
You're gonna give
Do a
these little
villain.
kids heart attacks.
Yeah, little kids' heart attacks. Pikachu just explode on screen.
Like Pikachu, hit him with the Voltaire. No, he's dead.
Yeah, if their attacks actually did the damage they were meant to do, just setting people on fire and drowning them and freezing them to death.
Literally electrocuting them to death.
I mean, we see too many superhero games as it is, so why not do a super villain game? Deathstroke.
Yeah, it's a good shout.
There you go. I mean, Deadpool. Where's Deadpool's love?
Deadpool. New Deadpool game would be dope. I would love.
Yeah, you would
love
think
that.
he
Yeah,
has
with
that.
Wolverine in it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
And with Ryan Reynolds voicing the character. That has to be a must.
yeah.
I mean, a lot of people are upset about that, the whole Hugh Jackman thing. I'm surprised that he got him, but at the same time, not. I mean, this is
It's gonna
Ryan
do
Reynolds. He's
do
got
more
It's
mega
not
money.
permanent.
Yeah.
He's not coming back for 10 years plus. This is a one and done thing.
Yeah,
It's the
I don't
first
know.
Deadpool film I've actually wanted to watch. So,
Yeah.
I don't
know
see
though.
Hugh
He
Jackman
might,
committing to the role for another 10 years. He's like 50 something, right?
yeah.
dude.
Yeah.
Patrick
He's not
Stewart
going to
came
commit
back
to it
and
for
he's
10
like,
years.
Patrick Stewart's like 80, and he's still playing Charles.
One off,
Xavier.
though. One off. That was a one off.
Yeah.
Yeah, so,
He basically came back to die, otherwise he wasn't coming back, he said, pretty much. So,
Yeah.
yeah, it's pretty much that.
Yeah. And Sean in the chat there says, when is someone gonna make a Stranger Things game? You never know.
somebody
Oh
did.
yeah.
after that TV show, I'm surprised there's no people wanting to expand and jump into that. I mean,
Yeah.
what was it? Evil Dead got a game right recently.
Yeah.
Leatherface has a game in development, which nobody fucking asked for, but that's getting a game.
Yeah.
What's
Yeah, but
happening
given the
with
success
Friday
of
the
Stranger
13th?
Things,
Yeah.
but given the success of Stranger Things, we should have a AAA game by now. Honestly, it's so weird. No
Yeah.
one
Well, we
picked that
we
up.
don't know what
had the
Netflix
same.
have got up their sleeve.
Yeah, and we had the same with Game of Thrones. We never got a proper Game of Thrones game. So
We've got
I
mobile
don't know.
games, though, right?
Yeah, and we had this Telltale game, but you know what I mean.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm joking. I can't stand mobile games. There's not a single mobile game on my phone. That's
Liar.
how much I dislike mobile
You've
games.
got all of them. As soon as you see them, you're like, that's mine.
the
I'm
games.
downloading it. But no, mate. Yeah. Awesome topic. I'm going to move it on to the final one. Smaller topic, though. We'll try and round this up a little bit quicker. The final topic for today is discussing the heavy rumours and, of course, confirmation from quite a few very reputable sources that Halo Infinite, or at least potentially just Tatanka, which, of course, we know is the Battle Royale, and potentially, of course, the future of the IP might lie away from Slipspace. Tatanka, at least looks like it is being developed on Unreal Engine 5.
No,
What
okay.
do we? Of course, at the moment, the game itself is developed on Slipspace and was developed on Saber. Of course, alongside you Unreal Engine for the UI UX for the game, but only for those elements. Now we know Tatanka looks like it's going full UE5. And of course, we don't know what that means for the future of the IP. Will the next Halo be Unreal Engine, or
I'd imagine so. If
Yeah.
that's the case.
But yeah, what's everyone's thoughts on this? First of all, Jen, I'll go to you because of course you're a big Halo fan originally. So I know obviously recently it's been pretty shitty, but what's your thoughts on that?
Boo.
I mean, with all the talks of how bad the Slipspace engine is, and
Yeah.
the guy running the show over there with the Slipspace engine basically leaving recently, and Jez called and confirms that, and he's got information that proves that that's true.
Yeah,
It doesn't surprise me. That engine is let's not put it lightly, it's a clusterfuck.
it's
That's
just
probably
it's
what's
just
caused a lot of the
from-
development issues.
Yeah, from what we've heard from the developers themselves, it's
Mm.
very hard to work with. Not just for them because it's took them a long time to work with it and get used to it, but it's for the outsourced teams that they work with. Essentially, they have to
Yeah.
reteach everyone that they work with how to use the engine from scratch again, and it's causing horrific delays and problems.
I think it's better to go with an engine that is already established. We
You-
already know it's good. They've got people within Xbox in different studios that have worked with Unreal Engine 5 that know how to use it, that can assist 343 Industries with learning the engine.
Yeah,
So go for it. That's what I say. Because the Slipspace engine is no good, and there's no point taking another God knows how many years to make a new engine or try and improve that shit. Just get rid of it. Put it in the recycling bin and be done with that. The Slipspace engine is not good.
yeah, that's fair. That's fair. Mick, what about yourself? What's your thoughts on this rumor? Do you think it's a good thing or a bad thing for the game going forward?
I mean, it can't get any worse than it is at the moment, can it? Really, for Halo. So I think it's a good thing. I think it's going to help them being able to. I know they're having a lot of trouble when all of the agency staff, as they whatever they want to call them, the people who left that were on contracts that
Yeah.
ran out. It's got to be difficult for them to find people who are willing to learn an engine that isn't widely used. And you can't apparently rehire those people for a certain length of time. So you've got to find new people. Putting it on Unreal 5 just means you could just get anyone.
Yeah.
Virtually
It's a
every
pretty
developer out
universal
there-
engine.
Exactly. Almost every developer out there will have Unreal Engine on their CV because it's the biggest one. So it's got to make life a lot easier for them to be able to hire more people without worrying about it. So I'm all for it. I mean, I'm still looking forward to the co-op mode that, as far as we know, is still coming out in November.
Yeah.
I'll be playing it again, but after I'm done with the co-op and playing through with it with Chris, I'm done. I don't really do much of the multiplayer. I was enjoying it for a bit, first season.
I'm
Flew through it
already
pretty-
done with that game.
Yeah, I was I was done. I've done the first season, did level 100, finished it, and then I started the second and just was like, nah,
Yeah.
I can't do this again. Yeah, so I'm all for it. Bring it on. And even if they only bring out that Tatanka
Yeah.
thing, bring that out, get it done, and then just start on 7. Just don't worry about Infinite now. Just start on the next one.
Let that 10-year plan die. That's
Yeah.
Yeah, just start again. Yeah.
Yeah, but
Going
honestly,
back
did
to-
anyone believe that 10-year plan? That is so ridiculous. You cannot bring out a game that comes out on the Xbox One when it was originally scheduled to release.
Yeah.
And that's when they advertised a 10-year plan.
Yeah.
And then, like, you want to support that game until, like, the next generation after that, the next one. So we're really talking, like, the successor to the Xbox Series S
Yeah.
and X, and not the enhanced consoles,
Yeah.
the
Nope.
true next gen.
Yeah.
Going
ones.
back to the rumors about them.
It's ridiculous.
I'm
The
already
game looks like a okay last gen game, and
Yep.
you cannot, like, when you have games like a Hellblade 2 coming out, and you have games like, look at how good Modern Warfare is going to look this year, and can you imagine what the next Doom is going to look like on Tech 8?
Yeah.
And then you compete with that old-looking game for 10 years.
Yeah.
I never believed that, honestly. I
With-
thought
with
always...
Modern Warfare, like I went from not interested to that game after playing the beta. I was super hyped. I can't wait for that.
Yeah. And I was always in the thinking like Halo is gonna be like that, like a Destiny, where they had also that 10-year plan for Destiny, but they realized after a couple of years, okay, we have to do a relaunch, and then Destiny 2 came out, and the same is gonna happen now with Halo, and it's a good thing. They should have never went with Halo to this live service system.
Yeah, I agree.
Obviously.
Agree.
Yeah, going back to Halo Infinite, the rumor about that being put into Unreal Engine, I don't know how that's going to work because surely they'd have to build the game from the ground up. Right?
Yeah, I don't believe the rumor that
I don't- yeah, I
Infinite
don't think
itself is going on Unreal Engine 5. I believe Tatanka is. Yeah, I can fully believe that.
I
Potentially
think
the future
Tatanka was
of
probably
Halo.
taken back to the drawing board with
Yeah.
Unreal Engine 5, and that's further out than
Yeah,
we
the future
expected
of
now.
Halo. I think Forge for Infinite, everything that's going to remain Slipspace. Infinite will remain Slipspace. Tatanka will be Unreal, and the future of Halo potentially be Unreal. Of course,
I hope so.
what people obviously have to think about as well is the Halo Infinite boot screen. Of course, is a boot screen for two separate things. So it's a boot screen for multiplayer, but it then also is a boot screen for the single player. They are two separate files essentially, and if you bring in Tatanka, all that will do is essentially link you to the file that you've installed for Tatanka. It's not going to be in Slipspace. It's just going to be a boot screen for, okay, select this mode, and then it's going to launch that game. A bit like the way Battlefield does their kind of boot screen for the launcher. You can turn on Battlefield, but then you can select any other Battlefield you've previously got installed. Yeah, I think that's the way it'll do it going forward. But yeah, I agree, Jen. I don't think current Infinite is going to be Unreal,
Yeah.
and I don't think Forge will be.
I've putting it this way though, with if this is true, and those leaks are looking increasingly like it is, with I think it was Sean W that put the video out talking about this, and Jez Corden at first didn't believe it, and then he's got information that suggests the same thing. I see Halo Infinite dying a lot sooner than people expect.
Mm-hmm.
I think season 4 will probably be the last.
The
Maybe they
farewell.
push to season 5 and get it going a little bit longer, just while they continue working on whatever Halo comes after, and then I think Halo Infinite goes to bed.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we had Chess Corden on our show, Dutch, last week, right after this entire thing dropped, and we talked to him a little bit more in depth about everything, and he's not even sure if it's gonna happen. He just said he has reason to believe that some of Sean W's leaks could be true. It's the thing is here really, like you said, I also believe that they will let Halo Infinite just die quietly, and when in like 2 years that certain Affinity mode comes out, that will basically be Halo up until that point when a Halo Infinite 2 or Halo 7 or whatever it will be called comes out, and then that is being remade entirely in a different engine. The thing is also, everyone assumes it's gonna be Unreal.
Yeah.
There literally was nothing in Sean W's leak and in the infos from Chess Corden that suggested it's gotta be Unreal. It's just because
I'd imagine it will be. It's the
Why?
engine that
Why would
is
it be?
probably best known with like
Name one great shooter running on Unreal after Unreal Tournament. Unreal isn't really a good shooter engine yet. Unreal has its absolute strengths, no doubt, and like Dutch said, it just became this industry standard.
Yeah.
Where everyone, like, I know how to use Unreal to a certain degree. I'm not a master at all, but I downloaded it and played fooled around in it just for fun. That's definitely a pro. But can you imagine the license fees that Microsoft has to pay?
Yeah. It would
It's
be astronomical.
insane. It's insane. And if it makes sense, they will do it. That's cool.
Yeah.
But they have like the most robust shooter engine and the most technically advanced shooter engine
tech.
out there, and it's ITech.
Yeah.
And Phil
Could
literally
see that
said
happening.
he wants 343 to get in touch with it because, and they want to get the coalition in touch with it because it is this absolute beast of an engine, and it is an absolutely optimized engine for shooters.
Yeah.
So I know everyone assumes Unreal and everyone's talking Unreal. So far, nothing suggests that it's got to be Unreal. We just have the rumor it's a switching
But
engine.
didn't they play around with Halo Infinite being in Unreal Engine before they even used the Slip Space engine?
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure they did,
Yeah.
and that was one of the
Yeah.
engines they were going to go with. So that
And
just
they
makes a little
decided
bit more
not to
sense.
go
now.
with it because Unreal isn't a good shooter, or Unreal 4 wasn't a good shooter engine. We have to say we don't know how good Unreal 5 is going to be for shooters because they made a lot of big steps with Unreal in the 5th iteration. Unreal was also not a very good open world engine. Like, literally name one open world Unreal game.
Yeah.
It's gonna be hard. It's gonna be hard. A good one. Let me put it this way. So Unreal wasn't a good open world engine, but we know that some of the biggest open world games are now being developed in Unreal. That's why it was so important for Epic to announce, hey, the next Witcher's gonna be developed in Unreal, and this and that is gonna be developed in Unreal, to really put out, okay, Unreal supports this now. I'm not saying it is not Unreal. Maybe it is Unreal, but I'm just saying we shouldn't rule out ITech. They have that studio in-house.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, I could definitely see that happening.
Name one shooter engine that is as advanced as ITech.
Good show.
The only one that is maybe comes close is Crytek. But that's about it.
Yeah, it's a good show.
Crytek has its issues of its own, and as someone who plays a first-person shooter, Crytek
issues.
What
game,
engine?
there's some big issues.
I was going to say, Call of Duty uses its own engine as well, doesn't it? They've got their own.
Yeah, it's always they've always used the
That is
same
also,
engine
but
from
it's-
that's running on Windows 12.
it was built upon the ITech engine. ITech 5
Yeah.
was the first Call of Duty engine, and then they separated, and from then on out they continued to evolve that engine. But at its core,
Hey, Buck, doesn't that
the
speak volumes though? Like ink
Mm.
software is that much more advanced than Call of Duty, and Call of Duty's been around
Yeah.
for how long now? They
Yeah.
haven't even
Yeah.
gotten into this type of realm. That just goes to show how little effort has went into these
Yeah.
games over at Activision. That should be eye opener for everybody.
Yeah,
It really should.
absolutely. So yeah, honestly, when Microsoft bought Bethesda, I said it's not just about a bunch of IPs, it's about some incredible tech they got, and ITech is one of them.
Good show.
I'm just saying, we don't
Good
know.
show.
Yeah,
Maybe.
I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if it was either one of those engines, to be honest.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's a good shout. It's a good shout. I think we're going to wrap it up there now. It's been.
I do have a follow-up question though.
Go on.
Do you expect them to reboot Halo
Again.
in the
Well,
new engine?
No.
Halo probably just going to get the next Halo in general, just going to be in that engine because let's face it, Halo needs to be redone. They have to patch those wounds. They have to really rebuild everything they've literally tarnished with this damn open world game. This service game.
I just think the story of Halo has become so spotty that it kind of
Yeah.
does need a reboot.
Yeah, because right now, and this is why I've been saying, like, I believe Call of Duty is just gonna fill the void, Jim. That's gonna be like their main studio to lean on, or game to lean on as like their poster boy, and Halo will play more so of the, you know, the kid on the back. Like they're no longer gonna get that A tier or S tier treatment for a minute until they prove themselves
Yeah,
with the next game. That's it.
I
Because Call
agree.
of Duty prints itself, the name by itself, prints money by itself. That's going to be their Game Pass mascot. That's going to be everything right there.
Yep.
And Halo just going to have to, come out the shadows and legit hit everything out here. And that's no shade towards the game. It's just, or that's no shade towards the developer. It's just based on what we've seen. We have
Yep.
more skins than we did content that we gave a shit about for Halo Infinite. And you guys saw the roadmap. The roadmap is abysmal. Terrible.
Yeah.
Terrible
I mean,
roadmap.
If, and it's a small chance, if it is Unreal Engine 5 that Halo is going to go ahead for I can't string a sentence together. If it is Unreal Engine that the next Halo game will be on,
Yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised if the Coalition leads that project.
Yeah. Well, at least
I would
helps
hope
with
so.
a great deal.
Yeah, I would hope so. Yeah, that would be great if they helped out.
100%.
Absolutely.
Well, chaps, it's been an awesome show this evening again. Massive shout out to everybody in chat for all the super chats, for the new channel memberships and everything, including, of course, a shout out to Fantoso, who became our highest channel member as well yesterday, going into the Valkyrie territory there. So thank you again for that, and of course, new members and all the super chats and things like that throughout the show. Massive thank you for all the support. And of course, to the awesome chat as well for all of the input as well, and all your suggestions and getting involved with the topics. As always, thank you. Of course, we do this for the community, so it's great to see everybody turning out again this evening. But let's get into our outros first and foremost. General C. Brother, let people know where they can find you and what you've got coming up.
You can find me on YouTube again. Back to making videos on my channel, The General C. Tomorrow at midnight, I will be streaming Modern Warfare 2019 until completion.
Oh.
So, yep, I'm starting that game and going to try and finish that game in one sitting. So it's about 5-hour long game, so I think I can do it.
Nice.
Mm.
Nice.
Nice.
Awesome stuff. Awesome stuff. So yes, if you want to go and see that, of course, you can go to the General C. You can actually search the General C on YouTube and you will find him. Because he's thankfully his original channel is large enough to have that search feature. So so you can find him on YouTube at the General C, and of course on Twitter at _General_C. Patchu, let people know where they can find you playing Grounded, and where they can talk to you about
sir.
everything else.
Well, you guys can find me, of course, on Twitter. Same handle name as usual, Petro070. Same counts for Twitch. And as you guys know, recently posting some videos or like rewatches of my stream on my YouTube channel. Same name, Petro070. So yeah, if you're not subscribed yet, subscribe. I try to post videos of my gameplays. If you're not on Twitch, you can watch them back on YouTube. So it would be nice to have some more subs, of course.
Yes.
But yeah, Grounded, guys. Basically, that's a game that I'm gonna play for a while, I guess. And like I said in the beginning, I hope we can like get something done with the community or just play some games together. So yeah,
Awesome.
that's
stuff.
about it.
Awesome.
Modern Warfare community nights.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. On launch. It's
Full
just...
week of community games.
Yeah. Next up, Mick. Brother, let people know where they can find you, of course, with both now on Twitch and YouTube as a combined, and of course on Twitter, where they can find you and what content have you got coming up?
Yeah, so like you said, I'm streaming now on at the same time on YouTube and Twitch, so that should help get some extra followers and stuff. So Just a big shout out as well to the bots that came along.
Oh, in
Tonight.
force.
Oh, they were
On force
full
tonight.
force tonight.
I've
Well,
never
they
seen
extra
them this
horny.
bad.
The fembots turned up, and now we're preemptively timing them out. There's a game between me, Pat, and Jen. And
They're like, you can't resist this, Mick. You
We
can't
are-
resist this.
We're preemptively timing them out before they even get chance now. But yeah, no, yeah, thanks for tonight. It's been good. And obviously, I stream See You Tuesdays with yourself and Jen and Chris, and we should be back to full strength next week. So should be back on 2 ships again. So that should be good. Big plans for See You Tuesdays
Yes.
in the future. So that's going to be good. Keep an eye out for that one. And obviously, I stream on Sundays as well with Sightless Combat, doing mostly Sea of Thieves, but usually other stuff as well, sort of Gears of War and Minecraft Dungeons, anything that's as well, sort of Gears of War and Minecraft Dungeons, anything that's accessible basically for him. So yeah. So,
Awesome
that's
stuff.
it. And obviously, you can find me on Twitter and the usual places.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. And I know you have an unboxing coming in a week, maybe, depending on when it arrives. But yes, you have an unboxing of.
So I have the
that.
controller already.
Yeah.
I can't see it.
Is that the CFD's controller?
No,
No,
it's
no.
the. It's
I can't see it, Mick.
But it's the stand is coming next week, so I'll do them both together.
Yes. Awesome stuff. Awesome stuff. Next up, of course, BitCloud. Great to have you back again, brother. It has been a while, but great to have you back on the show and get your opinions on everything. Let people know, of course, where they can find you, and if you're away from doing your gaming marathon, where they can find your new up-and-coming content.
I mean, yeah, it's always a pleasure. Thanks for having me. Shout out to everybody. Mick, General, you, obviously, Pat. Vin was in the chat, of course, always, and Mr. Boxenberg. But no, it's you guys can find me at BitCloud, gaming everywhere, YouTube, Twitch, Twitter. I dropped the video on the PlayStation, on the Horizon debacle. And yeah, it's hilarious. I'd say that if you guys want a few laughs, go check that video out. Ironically, it's too funny that YouTube decided to block it in certain territories.
Oh.
So yay! But there's that. But nah, that's you find me there, and always fun coming through. Hope you guys enjoy the rest of your day and enjoy some games.
Awesome stuff. Awesome stuff. And last but not least, of course, the Boxenberger. You have an awesome show, of course, tomorrow. So let people know where they can find you and where they can watch that.
Yeah, sure. The world of gaming.
Big round of applause.
The world of gaming coming tomorrow, 8 p.m. Central Europe, 7 p.m. UK, or 2 p.m. Eastern. It's gonna be a fun show. Trying to organize right now a very special guest. It's a 50-50 chance. But other than that, that you will be there, and it's gonna be, as always, a great discussion. So definitely gonna check that out. And other than that, I'm always working on shorter and longer videos. So definitely keep an eye out for that. And yeah, man, I can't wait to be back here next week.
Awesome stuff. Awesome stuff. And again, a massive thank you and shout out to the chat again this evening, including the 4,000 sex bots that come in to join us this evening. We couldn't do it without you, so appreciate that. And
They want that beard, Dutch. Go ahead, show them the beard. They want the beard.
But yes, massive
Maybe
shout out
that's
to
it.
everybody.
Everybody has a beard.
Yeah. To everybody for tuning in. I hope you have an awesome evening. And of course, if you did enjoy this, please make sure to like, share, and subscribe. It does help the channel a lot. But until next time, guys, see you all later. Goodbye.
See you later.